All right, here we go. You'll see a red light that says we're live. Hey, what's up, dudes? We are live. This is Johnny Beane. This is exclusively Van Halen, the Van Halen Show on YouTube, on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, which is, I guess, called X now, and Facebook. Welcome, you guys. We're doing a special time tonight. Special show for you guys. If this is your first time here, make sure you smash that thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. We are so close to 10,300 YouTube subscribers. So subscribe. We call this OE81 Tuesdays right here on Johnny Beane TV. So let's get started and hang out with us. All right, we have a special guest tonight too. All right, here we go.
Hey! This is Michael Anthony right here, and you are watching exclusively Van Halen on the Johnny Beane TV. Keep it there. Woo! See ya!
Thank you, Michael Anthony. Yo, what's up, dudes? Johnny Beane here, exclusively Van Halen. Tuesdays, normally 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. Tonight we're doing, I can't even do math. What time? It's 6, 7, 8. It's 9:48 p.m. Eastern, 6:48 Pacific. Out here in Santa Cruz, California. Special edition show for you guys tonight. We have a special guest tonight, Stephen Carrera.
I don't know what's special, but I'll take it.
Very special guest. Dude, we were hanging out at the NAMM show, man. Remember that?
Dude, that was a good NAMM show for me, too. I had so much fun. I was actually hanging out with, I made friends with some kids from GIT. I actually brought one to Jason's house to play, and they were like the three amigos. One guy was from China, one was from Italy, and one was from Canada, and all of them are absolutely incredible. And I took them with some boots to play, and they're like, where the hell did you find these guys? Like, my buddy's name is Sam Fairless. When I took him to Jason's house, his mom literally said, this is the best representation of Jason's music we've ever seen in this house.
Whoa. Jason Becker. Jason Becker. Yes.
Mabel, Showtime. I have some incredible footage of it, too. We'll be posting pretty soon. So
awesome.
That was a fun time, though. It was always good to see you, Johnny.
Oh, dude. Awesome to see you. We'll be hanging out tonight. We'll be talking about Jason Becker, good mutual friend of ours.
Absolutely.
Also with us tonight, 40 Grit. You guys know 40 Grit, Saturday nights. So you're making your appearance tonight, right?
Who, me?
40 Grit, because you're not going to be here Saturday, right?
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can. I'm scheduled to work. So if I can get someone to switch with me, I will switch. If not, I will not be here.
Okay. I'm not applauding that. I'm applauding you that you're here now. There we go.
I'm honored to be here. This is going to be really cool. This is going to be really good.
This is the Van Halen Show on YouTube. There was nothing else on today. This is the place you guys want to be. Smash that subscribe, smash that thumbs up, and really quickly, let's say hello to the top tier of channel members here on Johnny Beane TV, here on YouTube. Channel membership. It's a way you can help support the channel and support these shows. The executive producers are currently CC, Stephen Franklin, Michael Smith, Music Therapy Laz, Sherman Callahan, 40 Grit, there you are, man. John Moronic, Majestic PB and J Cat, Guitarman 45, Janice Lala, the intern, Arhabs, Warlag, Patty Dill, and Fairfield Guitar Co. That's Lewis. Lewis, I'll be talking to you tomorrow. We have something very cool in the works for you guys, a collaboration between myself and Fairfield Guitar Co. Right on. So you guys, channel membership. It's a way you can help support the channel. Let me see. Where is the... Usually I have another card. There we go. You can help support the channel, support these shows. And if you'd like to help support in other ways, this channel, super chats. is a way you can do that, and you can change the color of my lights. You look behind me here, this is called the Guitar Noir. I've got a few guitars back here. These lights magically change with any help towards the channel, towards these shows. There you go. So that's that. Yeah, pretty cool. I found this thing in like an alleyway. I opened it up. This is a podcast too. That's why there's all the crazy sound effects.
You designed it and made it
But
yours?
yeah, I opened it up and there's these cool lights in there, and they're like magic. It's pretty.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's pretty incredible stuff. So so we're live here. We're also live on Facebook, where we have Facebook stars. You can help support the channel. Speaking of Facebook, we're live in the exclusively Van Halen group at 62,000 members, EVH Gear Fans Life group, EVH Gear Fans Life page, and the Johnny Beane TV group on Facebook as well. And we're also live on what was called Twitter. It's now called X. So I do need to change this card here. But basically, we're just live everywhere. Pretty much everywhere there is, that we are there. This is a podcast on iHeart, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple. We're on TikTok, Lemonade, whatever that is, Threads. We're everywhere. So make sure you guys follow us and help keep it there, as Michael Anthony says. So, very special edition tonight, Stephen Carrera. Now, we originally, was that 3 years ago?
Yeah, we met when we did me, you, Dave Lopez. We also got Richie and I believe Alex Skolnick when I sold probably the first big thing I did for Jason, which was his first signature guitar, which had Edward Van Halen, Yngwie Malmsteen, Joe Bonamassa, Chris Broderick, John everybody. You know,
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Where's that photo? You've got the photo. You sent me the photo. The one, there's Edward signing the guitar right there.
Yes. That was big. You know, he was actually the last person. Actually, no, he wasn't the last person, because I ended up getting Joe Satriani shortly after. But when I did that guitar, I really wanted to finish big. And luckily, I had a mutual friend of Matt Bruck, and we reached out to Edward, literally going to lunch, like I told you, and he sent a text, and about 2 minutes later, his phone popped off. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And Edward, he was away on business, and said, when I get back, I'll take care of it. And we left a guitar in Los Angeles, where I'm based on, doing a lot of music work, and I was down in San Diego. The call came in, and my buddy got up to the house, got it done, and it actually was within a day of when it had passed away, which I didn't even realize till the other day when I looked at the date on the photo. And I believe you said he passed away 40 on the 7th.
I think it was October 6th.
October 6th. That photo was taken the year prior on October 7th. So
Wow.
it's kind of, it's just little
That's
things
crazy.
like that make me go, wow. It's like, I mean, I'm still dealing with the fact that Ed's gone.
Dude, I mean, every day.
I know exactly where I was, exactly what I was doing. It sucks. It just sucks. I feel so fortunate that I got to see him. But, dude, Ed, it's like I recently got to go to Sunset Sound and see the rooms that they recorded.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I have some friends who are doing some work there, and I want to help out. And it's awesome. It really, just to be in those rooms and you go, wow. It's like, this is where it started. This is where it happened. I mean, the legacy of that place is incredible. Yeah. One time I was going back and forth with Steve Lukather, and he told me about, I mentioned that I was there doing some work, and he told me at a time he was recording in one studio, Ed was in another studio, and Prince was at another studio. And my brain just went, it's like, I couldn't believe, I was like, I mean, really? Seriously? It's like, yeah, Luke's the coolest. And also a very dear friend of Jason's who's always been there for him. So,
Were you at the? We did the. Well, not me. I mean, I was there. Our friend Dave Lopez. They would do the Jason Becker, the Not Dead Yet benefit shows.
The one at Slim's where Joe Satriani.
The one at Slim's.
I actually was there, and I didn't know Jason. I didn't know Jason at that time, but Dave Lopez, our amazing mutual friend, his wife was working the merch booth.
That's right.
At one point, I bought doubles of everything, and I was buying shirts for my friends back home, and I set the record for the most merchandise bought that night. And she's like, "What's your deal?" I'm like, "Well, I love Jason. I want doubles of all this stuff, and I'm buying stuff. I spend hundreds of dollars on this stuff." And she's like, Jason would probably love to meet someone like you, and I didn't even know he was there. He was
directly across the room. Yeah,
he was off the right side stage.
Yep.
And she's like, she grabs my hand and she leads me over there. And this was the first time I was lucky enough to see Jason on a stage and meet him a few times when he was destroying, but I never met him, in that condition. And this kind of threw me back, and Gary was there, and I started to talk to him, and it was amazing. Yeah, Dave's wife was the one who really she kind of got a lot of this going. That means that you've been to his house when you meet him, and the wheelchair doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't. It's like
I was just there 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
I was there for his birthday.
On his birthday.
Yeah.
We
Dave took me. Dave and I went over there. There was only like 15 people. It was a really small gathering. Past a few years because of but
yeah.
Dave Lopez. I mean Melissa. I mean they're all awesome. I mean Gary, Pat. I mean everybody.
Think of how many years they've been carrying this torch and making stuff happen and keeping them alive and keeping his name out there. It's like the one thing that impresses me about Jason the most is Jason, but it's also the people around him. His mother, his father, his brother, Dave, people like you who continually keep his name out there. And that's what's keeping him going. It's a testimony to who he was as a person. I mean, I got to meet him in Cacophony at Gazzari's and Sunset Strip. I also met him in Anaheim at a guitar seminar. And I also met him at a Greg Howe show in Riverside. I went to see Greg Howe, and it was a small show. And then all of a sudden, Mike Barney and Richie Kotzen and Jason Becker all walk in. And me and my friend's heads, once again, kaboom. And I went over and I talked to him, and he was always cool. And that really stuck with me because I've met a lot of guitar players who are really good and aren't the nicest people. Jason was better than all of them and a total sweetheart. I'd ask him dumb questions about holding a pick and how he does this and how he does that. And he took time to talk to me. And he didn't have to be that cool because he was that good, but when you meet his family, it kind of all ties together. It's like he comes from a good place, so that's why he's a good person. So. You've been Johnny, better than anybody else.
If you haven't seen the documentary Not Dead Yet, definitely check it out. If you're unfamiliar, even if you know who Jason Becker is, definitely check out that film. And the very end of the film, they show that show that we were at Slim's. Yeah. Where Satriani headlined and
Michael E. Firkins, Greg Howe,
Luca Thur, Jeff Watson, number of people were there. It was incredible. Steve Hunter got up. He was the other half of the A Little Ain't Enough record. Yeah.
Yeah, he was Steve the Deacon Hunter.
Yeah, I've met him and his wife many times. Actually, at the NAMM show several times too.
Yeah, I mean, that guy's history is just astounding. When you think of songs like Salisbury Hill, that's the guy. It's like
Alice Cooper.
I mean,
yeah.
Jesus.
All that stuff.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I go on and on about that guy. You say guitar, and it'll be like 3 hours later, and I'll go. or 70s and 80s, and I
Yeah.
I've been a nerd for this stuff since I was a kid in Queens in the 70s, and my mom took me to a Kiss concert and was like, that was it. It was over. It's like, grab a broom, start playing air guitar like Ace Frehley, and eventually get a real guitar, and now I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
And everything kind of ties together. So
I know.
You come up a lot. Me and Jason talk about you and David Lopez, and so we all appreciate how much you keep Jason's name out there. You're a good friend.
We love Jason. Yeah. We love Jason. We love his family. It was awesome.
How did you meet Jason? What was your first meeting with him?
Well, I first heard of him 1990, around the time A Little Ain't Enough came out. I remember there was like a benefit for him. Guitar for the Practicing Musician had an issue where that centerfold, where it had all those guys, Thomas McLaughlin, Richie, Kotzen, Lynch, George 40 Grit's favorite, George Lynch.
Sean Lane's in that picture. Sean Lane's in that picture.
Everybody's in that photo. Lukather.
Yeah.
And so I remember Steve Hunter is sitting there next to him. He's the one holding the guitar. So I remember seeing that photo and learning who Jason Becker was. I got the David Lee Roth album and all that. And then years later, I ended up working at a guitar store in Berkeley, California called Subway Guitars. And the one of the guys teaching guitar there is this guy named Alex Skolnick.
This guy?
Guy? He had already left Testament. He wasn't in Testament anymore. He had a band called Exhibit A, actually. He had his own band where he was lead singing. He was actually singing.
Holy crap.
Yeah, this is true.
Love Alex.
And so I got to know Alex through, just working at the shop, talking with him. I was known as the Van Halen guy, so he'd be telling me stories about, when he met Eddie the first time and all this stuff. And anyway, I'm talking to him, and anyway, he has Alex Skolnick. Maybe I shouldn't say this. I went to his 25th birthday party.
Oh, dude. Alex has helped me many times.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying how long ago this was.
He got me into the Slayer concert.
So I went to Alex's 25th birthday party at his apartment in Berkeley, California. I'm hanging out. We found his guitars. So I'm playing his Ibanez guitars, his Testament graphic guitars that he had hidden away. So that people found them. We were jamming out. It was a crazy night.
The red one, the thin one, the Saber?
I saw it. Oh. Yeah, there was that one, and it had one of the Testament album covers on the front.
Oh, I know.
Like Souls of Black or something. One of those.
That's one of my favorite thrash band. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
so what happens is I meet a guy at Alex's party. This guy named Dave Lopez. I meet him. He starts telling me that he works at this rehearsal place called Soundwave in Oakland, California. So I end up going over there. I start rehearsing over there with my bands and stuff. And I end up hanging out with Dave in the office there, And then we know Dave would go on to form a band called Flipside, and they would have the song for the Olympics and a song called Someday all over the radio. He would tour with the Black Eyed Peas, everything that he did. Right? But this is before that. This is before all that. And I would go off and move in with Desmond Child,
Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. We have all kinds of stories, man. Yeah.
Dude, you're an onion.
Yeah. He was my manager.
That Desmond Child?
Desmond Child, Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, Kiss. That guy.
I know he is. Know who he is. Very aware.
Yes. I was living in his house. So anyway, I meet Dave Lopez. He starts, and one day he tells me, he's like, hey, Eddie Van Halen is coming over to Jason Becker's house. Either he was going, I think he would have told me that he was already there. So it was like the week after that.
Yeah, Jason told me the story how that happened,
Yeah. So I think Dave is like, hey, you'll never guess, Eddie was at Jason's. What? This is 1996. I was like, Eddie was a town, unbelievable, right? So anyway, that's how I first really heard of Jason. And then actually, let's real quickly, let's show this. When Dave first took me to Jason's house for Jason's birthday back in 2010, we actually we did a little video here. Where is it? It's right here. Check this out, you guys. This is Jason's birthday party, 2010.
Built from it.
All right, Johnny Beane hanging out with Big Pimp Jason Becker. Hello, Jason. This is
This is going on Facebook.
With your
all right.
permission. He's
Damn,
like, yeah, right. You got
Jason's
all-
so goddamn handsome. Look at him. All right, all right. And there's Mike pimping Barney over here, and then Dan, just goddamn it, sexy. Too fucking sexy. And of course me.
Didn't you go to Costa Rica?
That's awesome.
So that I play that video every time I'm live, so everybody's seen that. But anyway, that was the first time I met Jason, and I took that guitar. That was a 5150 copy made by a company called GMW, and I took it just to show Jason. And so anyway, that was the first time I met him, and I would go to Jason's house pretty much every birthday since then. I'd go and we'd hang out, and when they did the documentary, they did a lot of showings in the Bay Area, in San Jose, in Berkeley, in Richmond.
Oh, cool.
And I would go to those. Jason was there. Dave was there, you know. But anyway, yeah. So it's been, you know, this has been a long time, but we love Jason. And
That's a long time, dude.
yeah.
I met him through. Well, I met him at that at the Not Dead Yet show, but then years later, my buddy Albert works at Kiesel Guitars, and he was invited to Jason's birthday. He's like, "You want to come?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And I actually knew that he was a Niners fan, and I actually had a friend who was a Niner, and I brought some signed pictures and stuff like that, and we just started talking and just became friends. It just kind of started from that, and then I was actually working in the Bay Area for almost a year and a half, and Jason was kind of my only friend in the Bay Area, so I'd go see him and hang out at the house, and a couple times I borrowed a guitar, and that's kind of what started my whole relationship of you know, seeing opportunities to help him. I remember you were probably at this party. I asked Pat if they were going to have a birthday party, and she said that they weren't, because the ramps in the back were kind of a little bit decrepit, and she was concerned that people were going to get hurt. And I was working on a construction. I mean, I have a real job too, you know, and I was working on a large construction project there. And I said, let me call you tomorrow. And I talked to the superintendent, and I said, here's my situation. Do you do any type of work like that to help people out who could use it? And he's like, absolutely. So give me a budget. Gave him a budget. He increased the budget by a few $1,000s, gave me 3 guys, and the ramps you see in the backyard, I built me and some guys some work. A young guitar player was a fan. I told him, hell yeah, I'm on whatever you need. Him and his father came out. Another friend of mine in the job came out. And we had like a 17-hour day from morning till the late evening of just busting our ass. And you know, where it comes out, it goes out to a little concrete platform and it splits off to the side. And then they were able to have the birthday party. You know, it was like, it was cool. It's like,
I wonder what year was that?
That would have been probably about 4 years ago. I probably got the picture somewhere on my phone, but it's probably about 4 years ago, because I remember shortly thereafter we were able to have the birthday party.
Right.
And it was cool. I remember.
I had to have been there. I must have been there. Do you remember? You know Matt Blackett?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I love Matt.
Was he there?
Yes, he was. Yes.
Okay, then I was there.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a photo right here. Wait, there's actually a photo of us. This is at one of the birthdays, right there.
Oh, dude.
And that's our friend Brian Spalding.
Oh, I love Brian. Brian, is he not the sweetest?
You know Brian too? Yeah.
Yes, I do. Yeah, we had a mutual friend. So yeah, we had a lot of mutual friends actually. That is one of the sweetest guys I'll ever meet. He is so kind. He's so Hawaiian, you know. He's just nice.
He actually gave me a Marshall 412 cabinet.
What?
It's in my garage. Oh yeah.
We were mutual friends. He was really good friends with Ben Woods. I'm sure he
right.
was too. So we all became friends, and then just a great guy. That's the one thing you notice about Jason is the people around him are just hearts of gold. Really
and
are.
the Bay Area, not even the Bay Area, the California, well, now because of the internet, but the music scene and the scene around Jason Becker, it's huge. There's so many friends, so many people,
and it's
it's nothing but positive.
Yeah, it's. Well, I don't know how you see it, but when I first met him, and you see what's going on, you see what he has to go through throughout a day, and then still manages to write this incredible music. It's like, dude, I felt the first time I met him and left that house, I felt so lazy. I'm like, what did I do today? You know, I have problems. I don't have problems at all. I have no effing problems. I can, and that's kind of what started my whole path of how do I help this guy, and just connecting dots with some of the people I work for, people I know in the industry. And I think the coolest thing is when I said Jason, I didn't get any no's. Everyone's like, what can I do? What can I do? And then it just started this like snowball from hell. And that's why where we are now. And I mean, it was incredible. I mean, to see, I remember when we did the fundraiser, the virtual fundraiser with Herman Lee, my friend, and we owe him so much. I mean, but a mutual friend of mine called me up. Well, we were talking about the guitars that Jason wanted to sell them, and my goal was to put these guitars into hands of big artists, build up some exposure, and increase the value. And a friend of mine named Joel Creed says, "Why? A friend of mine is Herman Lee. He has a Twitch channel. I didn't even know what Twitch was. I am very computer illiterate. Don't talk to me about fractals. I'll talk about tubes. I'm that guy. Ain't happening." And he said, "Well, I spoke with Herman, and he'd like to have a conversation with you." So we got on the phone. We spoke. He said, "Can you come up to the house? And I'd love to see the guitars. And this is my idea." And I brought the guitars, and it was so cool to see a big rock star see the Hurricane guitars, and it was the same response that me and you have. He wasn't jaded one bit. He was like, "Dude, these pictures of these guitars were on my wall when I was a kid. Jason Becker is the guy." And he's like, and I told him what my idea was of what I wanted to do with guitars. He's like, "We can do it better. We can do it on Twitch. You can call your friends, I'll call my friends, and we can do virtual live jams." And then he even he had a donation channel where every cent that Herman raised, from Bitcoin to dollars, every nickel went to Jason. And just on that was $82,000. And Herman didn't stop. It's like, I'm like, "Dude, you're the rock star. You stay out front. Keep playing with the guys. We'll keep bagging artists together. We'll keep whatever we have to do." And everyone we asked, I mean, well, you saw it.
I remember that, yeah.
Paul Stanley was, when the Eddie Van Halen video first came out, he was the first big rock star to say something about it. He did this beautiful post on Twitter about Eddie's compassion and kindness to Jason. And Bumblefoot played the show, and I believe he reached out to Herman and said, "Hey, how about Paul?" We're like, "I'm a Paul Stanley?" I'm like, "Holy." I'm a kid from Queens in the 70s. I'm like, fucking hell, oh yeah, dude. This would be incredible. And he did that beautiful video you saw. He donated a guitar, and we sold it for a boatload of money to.
Oh yeah, the San Diego, like the CBS. That video?
Yeah,
there was a clip of that in that. Yeah,
that was the beginning. That was like the beginning of it. But then we just kept getting guitars. We just kept coming, because at one point we're like, Herman said, "Let's just ask people for guitars." I'm like, okay. So aside from the virtual live jams, where Herman sometimes played for up to 2 to 3 hours with everyone from Alex Skolnick to Angel Vivaldi. My God, that guy's amazing. Nita Strauss. The list goes on and on. But eventually people started donating their personal instruments. And at one point, my bedroom was just crammed with the best guitars in the world. Like guitars I got to see on stages in multiple places. I mean, the one that stands out the most is Joe Satriani, the Flame guitar. and it's the one when you see the Denver G3 show, when he plays Mystic Potato Head Groove thing, it's that guitar. And
oh wow!
I was like, "Are you?" And I remember going back and forth. I'm like, and I told him what he sold it for, and I'm like, he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "You're Joe Satriani," you know. It was $50,000, and he wanted nothing. He just wanted to help Jason, and it was that. Like I said, it turned into a snowball from hell, in the best way, and which is kind of why we're talking today. You know,
that's that guitar right there.
That's the guitar. Yeah, I remember getting that picture on my phone, going, "Really?" Okay, and it was just incredible. And actually, when the guitar got shipped, don't you know Van Halen's crew? You went to dinner with him at NAMM, Kevin, right?
Yeah, I know Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah. The guitarist came down from the Bay Area, and that was the guitar that came down, but it got shipped to Michael Anthony's and Sammy's space. So I went there to pick the guitar up there and got to see a bunch of really cool Van Halen stuff, which was awesome. He was the sweetest guy in the world. But
oh yeah,
all these little amazing stories and people just doing whatever they can for Jason. You know, it's like I couldn't believe it. I mean, I knew it was going to be cool, but when Herman came in, he brought it to a level that I never could have achieved. You know, it was just seeing all those guitars in my bedroom, because I was responsible for background stuff, shipping, pricing, racking up artists. Well, Herman was the rock star. He was the guy out front, and he's the one who really made this stuff happen. Sorry, I'm trying to, just in case Mom wants.
Swear all you want, man. That's fine.
I'm trying to be better. So
I might say golly every once in a while on here.
You do have a very feel to you. Very Mayberry. So,
speaking of guitars, what do you think of 40 Grits guitars?
Dude,
look at that collection.
I see George Lynch. I love that guitar, man.
Yeah, big Lynch fan. Eddie Van Halen was number one, though. You know, but Lynch is Lynch. I'm a huge fan of DeMartini, and I'm glad to hear that we had some talk over the. Had some talk before the show that DeMartini is still available, the DeMartini guitars. So you and I will be talking about that one, and hopefully I'll be grabbing that. And hey, there was a comment in here that I wanted to comment on, and somebody just said, "Is my mic on?" No, I'm just being respectful and letting Steven talk because that's what the show's about.
If I ramp, sometimes like I'm not good in front of a camera. I get a little. I'm a behind the scenes guy. I'd rather push gear and tune stuff. So I apologize. I do apologize if I ramble on like a.
No, it's great, dude. Man. I mean, like it's awesome information. There, when the show started, I know we were talking in the green room again, and somebody had mentioned that they hope that the auction, it's said that they were saddened that Jason has to sell the guitar, and I would just like it if you would comment and just say that he doesn't have to sell the guitar. He doesn't have to.
It's. What Jason wants people to really understand is he wants these guitars to live on. Eddie was a dear friend of his who helped him immensely over the years. Immensely. Eddie was a wonderful person to Jason and his family. And this guitar has been on Jason's wall since 1996. And financially, Jason's doing good right now, you know, but we're trying to build a future for him. And we're doing some amazing things that I think will achieve that. But his hope is that this guitar will live on, and the story is incredible. And he wants people to see this guitar out there, know the story, know what a wonderful, incredibly compassionate person Edward was. This is very important. This isn't about Jason needing the money. Will it help? Absolutely. But it's more about, I mean, every guitar behind you has a story. I mean, I have guitars at my house that have incredible stories. Johnny could do the same thing. I mean, you think about all the years, you know, I was just at Norm's Rare Guitars, and this guy has guitars been being played since the 40s. Think of all the history in those guitars. He's
got some great stuff.
Yeah, he's actually a really good
great
friend of
stuff.
mine, and he's actually been a really big help to Jason too. But to go back to your point, it's important that people understand Jason wants people to get as much pleasure and happiness from seeing this instrument out in the world and knowing that someone else is going to love it as much as he did. When he wrote Perspectives, he would keep this guitar next to him, and he would inspire him. And he even told Ed that story, and Ed loved it. He was like, "That's so cool." You know, it's like, I tried to get as much information about the relationship as I could, and the more he told me about what Ed did for him and how much he was there, the more I fell in love with Ed. We all love him for Fair Warning and all the incredible music, but when you really see what's behind it, it's like, he was an amazing person. He was a wonderful father. He was. I think that's what's really important to Jason. He wants people to see the Ed that he knew. You know, and if this story helps achieve that, when they see the video that got put together after he passed away, then that's great. And so, like I said, I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet about people saying exactly what you said, but understand what Jason's intentions are. And Jason's, Johnny, you've met him. Jason is like the kindest, most beautiful soul I've ever met. He wants everybody to be happy, and whatever it takes.
And I mean, you guys all know what he's going through and what he's gone through, and you see that. You've seen that over the years in the videos, the video with Edward at his house, giving him that guitar. And we'll show you guys the guitar. We have the guitar. The guitar is here. Actually, it's right there. It's right there. We have it.
I can feel the coming off of it.
Maybe we should interview the guitar.
That's pretty awesome to be sitting next to that, by the way.
Sometimes my life has been so ridiculous over the last 12 years because of some of the stuff I do. Like, if I could go back to like my 17-year-old self and go, "Hey, one time you're going to play Eddie Van Halen's guitar, or you'll have it and do this and that." Like, it's insane. It's like,
it's pretty unbelievable, but at the same time, it's yeah. I mean, we're very lucky. We're very lucky to do what we do, and you know, our friends, because we have a lot. And what I'm learning, Stephen, we have a lot of mutual friends.
Absolutely,
we have a lot of friends.
Yeah, we really do. I mean.
So it's just
people. A lot of people don't know who I am because I don't really talk about a lot of the work they do. I just do the work, and I think that's what's helped me open up so many doors for Jason. It's just, you know, I've never, like, even right now I'm very uncomfortable. I don't like being in front of a camera. I don't like. It's not that I don't like it. It's like, you guys are very natural. You've seen calm, cool, collective. I feel like a hamster on a wheel right now. It's like, I know I'm rambling sometimes. I'm just like,
this is a podcast, so the rambling helps.
Right.
I can assure you that everybody in the chat right now is listening to you and very, very attentive to what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
because, I mean, that's why I'm listening. I'm just totally drawn into what you're talking about. It's really cool.
But your point, I think, is the most important point. It really is. I mean, that, to Jason, is the most important thing. Is if this, like I said, if this guitar gets out there, goes into a good home where people can see it and know the story and understand what the person Ed was, and the relationship they had, then mission accomplished. And the money helped, absolutely. I'm not stupid. You know, a while back, a few days ago actually, I saw an old interview with Pat. And this is in the early stages when Jason got sick.
His mom,
Pat. I'm sorry, Pat Becker. And they were just trying to figure stuff out. And there's no plan for this. I mean, this was like, nobody saw this coming. I mean, I met Jason as a kid, and he was the most vibrant, amazing guitar player I've ever seen in my life. I mean, ever. And I've seen, drop a name, I've seen that person. And Jason scared me more than anyone I've ever seen in my life, in the best possible way. And what she said was, we don't have a plan at this stage. We're figuring it out. We really don't know what the life plan is going to be and how we can afford this and what is anything. And people like Dave and me and Mike Beefer, his name is hard, Mike Beemister, you know what I'm talking about, who helped Jason write Perspectives, one of his best friends, Mike B, you know, what's his name? It's hard for me to pronounce. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Maybe, but
Beamer Mister, something like that. Amazing guy, incredible, heart of gold. If we can help these people achieve a plan for Jason's longevity and comfort and health, then mission accomplished. Because I believe Jason's going to outlive us all. Right now things are good. Him and Dave Lopez are busting their ass on some new music. I mean, when Jason's happy, Jason's writing music.
Yeah. What year was that? I think it was the last birthday that I was at. It might have been the photo with Matt Blackett and Brian Spalding that year. I forget. Because 2020, there was no birthday.
No.
Right?
No. Yeah.
2020 or 21. It's been a while. Like, it's been at least 3 years since I've been over there. I was just over there a couple weeks ago. I remember them playing us samples of what they were working on. And I remember them saying, it was just like, it was blank spaces. And it's like, here, this will be like Steve Vai will be here soloing. So-and-so will be here soloing. So we got to hear the stuff before anybody was on.
I actually know the order.
Okay.
Well, I know the first three for sure. Look, starts off Steve Vai, Joe Bonamassa, and then Paul Gilbert. And then I believe
wait a minute.
Yeah, but
wait a minute. I always have to there we go. I always have to, every time I have to show that, every time somebody mentions Paul's name.
Yeah. Actually, both those guys have been there for Jason. Paul Gilbert, I could go on and on about how many times I've reached out to him, and he always says yes. Always. I mean, birthday videos. The list is endless. Nuno, he actually signed, I did 2 separate signature guitars this year, or last year. Yin and Yang and a numbers guitar. It had everyone from Metallica, Sammy Hagar, Nuno Betancourt, Ingo Malmsteen.
Oh my gosh.
Nuno was on those.
I have that photo.
Yeah, so I actually went to Vegas to get that one. In one swift stroke, I got Nuno. Oh no, Herman got Nuno. Yeah, all I know is Nuno. Everyone we ask says yes, which is amazing. It's like, I think it's a tribute to Jason.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things that you've said that I would just like to comment on. Number one is, I've got a child, and that's maybe the thing you don't think about with regards to Jason. His parents, God bless them.
Dude.
Because I mean, they are dealing with something that there was no plan for. They didn't know, and they've made it work. And you're probably right. The guy probably will outlive, a lot of people. And I think it's amazing. That's number one. Or actually, I've got more than one question, but that's number one that I want to address his parents, because that's probably one thing that doesn't get spoken about enough. Probably. I mean, they've got a full-time job with that. I can only assume.
Absolutely. So. I've been there at the house and see the care that they give him, and also Marilyn and Savannah. And it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I think I remember when we started bringing in some good money with the guitars and with Herman, and like, you guys should take a vacation. And they're like, when's the last time you had a vacation? They couldn't answer the question. There was no answer.
And that all goes back to how you started it. I don't have any problems. I don't have any problems. It's exactly how you started this podcast. I don't have any problems, because when you think about what other people, what their sufferings are, or what their challenges are in life, it puts everything in perspective very quickly. The other thing I wanted to comment is Joe Bonamassa is one of my favorites. I'm not a big Gibson guy, but he's one of my favorites with regard to the collection aspect. The guy's a beast with regards to like having so much passion. This is passion. This is people say you've got a lot of guitars on your wall. I don't look at it like that. I look at it as it's my passion. I'm very
I I don't see guitars. I see memories.
Yeah, see, and that's something too. I've talked about in the show millions of times. I just come in here and stare at them. You know, I won't play them. I'll just come in and stare at them. But one point I wanted to make is Joe Bonamassa says, "I don't buy guitars. I buy the story."
Yeah.
And with this Eddie Van Halen guitar, I just recently went back and watched the video of Edward at Jason's house.
Did you cry?
And how can you not, man? I mean, if you look at the way that Eddie looks at him, he goes hands-on. He's uncomfortable because he doesn't know how to go hands-on, and he finds a way to go hands-on with Jason, and it's just very touching, and you can realize that that's the person that, you know, that's what's inside Ed. You know, he's a very genuine guy, and you're not buying that guitar. You're buying that video. You're buying the story. You're buying their friendship. You're buying. That's just a really really cool story.
There's actually something I could add to that story if you don't know. When Edward went to the house, he brought this guitar to give to Jay. Yeah, there he goes, the man. You know what's funny? Me and my friends don't even say Edward. We just say the King. That's like our reference to Ed. We just say King. And oh yeah.
It's true. It's true.
No, it really is.
King.
But
Yep.
in 1996, that was about the low point for Jason as far as ALS, how he felt about his physical appearance and his overall health. And when Edward came to the house, it really, look at that. There's the beautiful Serrana, the Queen. That's a beautiful picture, man. I just...
Yep, there they are.
Edward was really taken aback by Jason's appearance. He really didn't understand the gravity of the situation. He brought the guitar not really knowing what was going on, thinking that someday Ed would be able to play it. And so when he saw it, he started to get really choked up. And his mom... Yeah,
you can see that.
So his mom took him into a back room to kind of collect himself, and Edward's crying. Like, he's literally, Ed's in tears at this moment. And he's like, I feel horrible. I feel so bad. She's like, well, what happened? She's like, I brought this guitar because I thought one day he could play it, you know, and he's never going to play again, is he? And she's like, no. And he really felt like he didn't feel good. And his mom said, listen, you're one of his heroes. This is an amazing day for him. Please give him the instrument. It's okay. And that's what you see. When Edward passed, I talked to Jason, and I understood the relationship. I had some inside details. I'm like, dude, we have to do something for Ed. We got it. We have to do something. You have to show a tribute. I knew about that benefit video that they shot, and that was the day. It was like from the Jerry Lewis muscular dystrophy thing.
They filmed it in his backyard.
Yes, sir. And he's like, well, do you have any more? I've just seen that, but did your dad take any pictures we can use? And he's like, well, we actually have video. And I'm like, you have video? You have video of that day and nobody's ever seen it? I'm like, yeah, but that's like the low point for me physically, and I'm not comfortable. And I'm like, Jason, you're going to have to, let me see it. Let's get through this. This is for Ed. Because when he passed, it was kind of weird. It seems like when people pass away, you see the best and the worst. I mean, I saw Wolf getting a lot of crap because people were telling him he should be his dad, or people will talk about Edward's checkered past and not really knowing who he is. I don't know who he is, but I have heard many stories about his kindness and generosity. And I'm like, I saw this video. I'm like, this is a side of Edward nobody's ever seen. It's true friendship. I'm like, Jason, we got to put it out. And he agreed. And that's what you saw. And it was shocking. I mean, I remember watching the video because he just sent me all of it. And I'm watching this stuff going, I cried like a little girl. I'm man enough to admit it. It broke my heart. It really did. I've seen Eddie on stage. I idolize him, but there's a point when he's sitting there and he's holding his hand and he's not letting go. And he's just talking to him. Like we're having a conversation now, just friends. And it's like, it broke my heart, but it also made me happy. you know, to know that he had that with someone, you know, I'm 1 degree of separation away from Edward, and that's so cool. But to see that story, it just, and I knew it would kind of make a lot of negativity go away. Like, I read every single comment on that YouTube post, every effing one. And I think one of the best ones I saw, I can't remember the exact quotation, but it was like, I'm 250 pounds, I have a beard, I drive a Harley. If anyone says anything bad about Ed, I'm kicking your ass. You know? And it was, or I would say 70%, I'm crying, who's cutting onions? And it's just like, it immediately got so much attention. And Ed, and I even saw people say, I heard this about Ed, I heard that about Ed. Obviously BS. This is a beautiful human being. And that's important. You know, it's, you know, everyone sees a rock star, but you know enough rock stars to know rock stars have families, they have children, you know, they deal with hardship. It's not just deli trays and free beer. You know, it's a job. And that video, it did a lot. It did a lot for Jason, and I hope it did a lot for Ed, you know. Just and people around the world just got to see a side of a person they've only seen on a stage or in a video. So yeah. So,
hey, let's pull the guitar down.
Yeah.
And show it off a little bit. One of the most coolest things to me, in my opinion, is the back of the headstock does not have the patent. Oh, it's even got the string protector. So that's an bonus in itself.
I have the checklist inside, and we also spoke. I also heard from Jim DeCola, who designed the guitar.
Yes. Hey, Jim.
And he said, "Give Johnny my best. You're a great guy." Because obviously you went to the factory a short time ago, right?
Dude, Jim is amazing. He was on my show here, and then when I went to Nashville, he invited me over to the factory. He gave me a private tour of the entire thing, and I mean, the guy responsible for that guitar. I mean,
yeah, it's like you probably know more about his involvement than I do. So if you do, go for it. I mean, but what he's going to do for us is he is writing a COA or a letter of authenticity, which is going to state his involvement with the guitar, Edward's involvement with the guitar, and also that this was one of the guitars Edwards picked specifically under contract. So once it was done, it was inspected and was shipped straight to Ed. So Ed had this guitar with him. It wasn't just, you know, when a lot of times you do these meet and greets, they get what I call burner guitars, you know, sign up, give them away. They don't have a lot of significance. This guitar,
like giveaway guitars that
absolutely.
maybe, they never played or whatever.
Some of those guitars, you know, have to do the work. And they're cool, but this literally he chose this guitar, and it was shipped straight to him, and it stayed with him until the video where you see him give it to Jay. So, but we can state all that officially. He's sending me the letter. It's all legit. There's no BS about this guitar. It's exactly what we say.
Yeah, very hard to have any BS on that. That's the guitar.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Let's see that. I'm going to highlight you, okay? So you guys, that's the guitar that Edward gave to Jason Becker. He signed. Edward played the guitar for Jason in the
same
video.
Strings. I would assume, Johnny.
Oh,
so there's DNA on there. There's Edward DNA on that as well.
Oh, dude, this thing is magical. I wish I could go back to like my 17-year-old self and go, one day you're gonna hold. Dude, I wouldn't believe it. It's like, I mean,
I know.
And I'm assuming people like you and the people, you know, on your channel, everyone's got something. You know, I have friends who love sports. I have friends who are into comic books. That's their thing, and that's all cool. Everybody is a nerd for something. For me, it's guitars. Guitars, the history of guitars, how they're built. Everything about guitars excites me. But to hold a guitar, it's Ed, man. He's the king, and it's incredible that, you know, it's here. You know.
Yeah. So two really cool things about that guitar. First of all, the note to Jason. That's number one. Number two, and these are just my favorites. I'm sure other people have their favorites, but there's two things about that guitar that are cool. Number one, the what he wrote that we will play together, which is super cool. And then the back of the headstock has no patent stamped. It's just got his signature. So that's how you know that's one of the ones that would actually sent to Edward. Those are one of the proofs, from what I understand. There were so many proofs sent to Edward, and that's one of the ones that were sent to him, and that's why there's no patent stamp on the back of them. I guess there were a couple that got out, but if it doesn't have the patent stamp, what's that?
That's a detail that I know a lot about Ibanez and Gibson, but I wasn't aware of that detail. So thank you. And also, it's number 69.
Yeah, there's no patent stamp below his signature. So there's a couple out there that, as you can see, it would say patent pending, or would it say patent
you're
number?
Absolutely right.
As it went on.
Yeah.
So a couple of those had snuck out, from what I understood, but the ones that, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right, that the ones that came out without the patent number, those were somehow sent to Edward for some reason, somehow, or he just decided to send them back and they sold them. So.
And all these details will be stated in a letter from Jim DeCola. And also, Jason's preparing a letter about that he received the guitar is doing in his possession. You know, I mean, these are the same freaking strings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
so
cool.
Cool.
I've seen the guitar many times over the years.
Oh, I know. I love that picture. That's a cool picture. Kind of like a cat to me for some reason. It's like my friend's cat.
Look at that. Look at that. There I am in front of, the carving. I mean, look at the carvings back there,
You go through different looks. I think I like the sideburn look.
The side. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've been to many different parties of his.
Dude, you are so Big Bang Theory right there.
I mean, I've been there so many times. Oh yeah, that's what people say. They say I look like that guy Johnny Galecki.
That was coming to Backstreet Boy.
I guess. Yeah, that's like the. Oh yeah, there's the photo of Edward playing the numbers guitar down there, the Peavey. Yeah.
It's incredible. I love that. I love your history with Jason. I mean, you're as committed as it's me, I guess. So,
wow. Again, I mean, thank you to Dave Lopez. Thank you to Alex Skolnick for introducing me to Dave Lopez, and then Dave Lopez, and we're still friends. I mean, Alex and I have been good friends forever. Lopez and we've been good friends since 1995 or whatever, and we still hang out. We talk. We're actual friends. There's no, internet BS or rock star BS. There's none of that. And it's so cool to have actual, friends, and not only that, cool friends. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah, Dave's a fun guy. He's tremendous.
Yeah. Well, 40 Grit, you met him because he was on with us on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
A couple weeks ago, or a week ago, or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he came on and talked about the. He had those. He's putting that album together of all the rare outtakes and some raw stuff, and really cool stuff.
They found a treasure trove of stuff that really didn't know was in existence. I mean, I've seen something, and it's amazing. I saw a video of Jason. Well, obviously somebody shot from his side of the stage in Cacophony, and he is screaming through the amplifiers. And the cool thing is, I don't know about you, Johnny, but when I watch Jay play, like, I see Edward. Like, he's so playful. Like, when I see people playing at that level, you can tell they're struggling. When I watch Jason play, I mean, he was playing a Cacophony song, but it looked like he was in the Panama video. It was like... It was
effortless.
Effortless.
Effortless. You watch him play.
That's the point. Effortless.
Yeah,
yes.
It was...
That's what it is.
I mean... Like I said, I've seen so many guitar players in my life, but I think we all remember the people we saw that really made an impact. And you said, okay, I have a new path. For me, it was started with Ingrid Malmsteen. First time, I was playing before that, but then I heard Steal a Record, and that just blew my mind. And it's like, it just kind of made sense to me. And then I heard Jason, and I was heavily into bands like Testament, Megadeth, Anthrax, Korn, or real heavy stuff. And Cacophony brought that element to it also, and also this very dissonant thing too. And it wasn't normal music. It was so. I mean, there was amazing bands coming out of Shattle, but Cacophony kind of broke the mold, and this cross pollination of neoclassical, thrash, Asian. It was everything, and it just appealed to me so much. It's like once I heard that, it was game over. And,
I wish I could go back and say that I listened to to that stuff before. When I started listening to Jason Becker was when the David Lee Roth album was released, and then I started researching the his story and everything else. Let's talk about that for a minute. I mean, you're filling the shoes of Steve Vai. Okay, I mean, like that alone is huge. So you're filling the shoes of Steve Vai. You're next, and he's so excited. I mean, I can't even imagine how excited he must have been when that all went down.
Not only Steve Vai, but Eddie Van Halen too.
Both of them. Edward goes without saying.
That's terrifying.
I mean,
the king.
I would have been terrified. And not only did he go into the studio and record a phenomenal album. I was just talking about it the other day. Lady Luck's my favorite album on the song. I just listened to it the other day. I mean, the solo on Lady Luck is just phenomenal. And, not only did he have the stresses of replacing Edward and Vai and, going on stage with David Lee Roth, now he starts with an illness. I mean, and he still recorded the album and still made his mark. Hey, man, the guy is nothing but a class act. I mean, nothing but a class act. And how old was he when he got sick? I don't know.
I believe he was
how old
20.
Was he?
I think it was 20, if I'm not mistaken.
He was like 19 or 20.
Yeah, it was the end of being 19, I believe, when they started to get that lazy feeling in the leg. And,
It was while he was recording that album.
Yeah.
And again, if you guys watch the documentary, Not Dead Yet, if you guys can get it, I think it's on Netflix. It's probably on YouTube. I'm sure it is. Check it out. I'll put a link in the description of this video once we're done. Check out that documentary. It tells you everything about Jason, they have old home movies, with his family. They talk about, going, being with David Lee Roth. And then our friend Dave Lopez is in the movie. Our friend Matt Blackett is in the movie. A number of people we know. I'm not, officially in the film, but you can see me in a couple scenes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the end when they're at Slim's. Yeah.
I'm not officially in it, but I'm at that show. So it's gonna be my big break. So.
But it's an amazing film. You guys got to check it out.
So I can only assume with this guitar, just because I know those Wolfgangs pretty well. I can only assume, is there a build sheet with the guitar? All the Wolfgangs came with a build sheet. Yeah. So it does have a build sheet.
Absolutely.
It's got the original case, I assume. Do you have the build sheet? I mean, can we see the build sheet? That'd be really cool to see. And to all the chat right now, you're welcome, because I know that everybody's thinking the same thing. Can we see the build sheet? Because I'm geeky like this. I like to see stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Who's here? Chris King is here. You guys, great to see everybody. Feisty Feather is here. Janice is here. Robbie is here. Robbie, see you on Friday on Talking Kramer Guitars.
That's it right there.
Look at that.
So that would be... So could you slide it over to the other side?
Model,
just so
EVH Wolfgang.
Yeah. I want to see assembled by and set up by. Top right.
Yeah, I'm that guy. Oh, there we go. Right there.
I just wear my glasses all the time.
So this is the look at that.
Let's see.
Set up by Ed.
You see it?
You think that's Eddie?
Oh, I'm sure. Because I'm sure of that, because I was told that Ed did sign those sheets. Like his name is on those. There were times when he was there doing QC, and it would say Ed, and it was him. So that right there is another cool thing, man. That's cool.
Well, he states in the video that the first 100 he was hands on, and he did the final stamp.
Oh, that's crazy! It says Ed.
Yeah, if you watch the video, that's the cool thing is like we can prove it all. It's like we're not making this up.
No, I don't think you're making it up at all. I just think it's cool to see that.
I can pull a Monday Night Football and go to the tape. It's all there. You know?
That's crazy.
He talks about the conception of it, the D-tuna, all that stuff. And,
So you said there were a couple other guitars available as well. Now, I have first dibs on the DiMartini. I do have to talk to my significant other about that. But
let's make that deal.
Let's do it live right now.
You said that there was
that guitar. I'll bring it to you and buy you both dinner.
Yeah, we're gonna make
road
a deal.
trip.
I just need to make sure that I talk to her about this because I'm smart like that.
Wait, once summer's over, it's still hot for you.
And you said there's a Guthrie prototype.
Yes. Also, we have 2 guitars available still from the auction. That Herman Lee, the guy, we're so grateful for. We have a Guthrie Govan. He's a Charvel prototype. Comes as a letter of authenticity. States everything. It's a stunner. It really is.
Those Guthries are nice guitars. It's a Charvel. It's a Charvel Guthrie.
Yes, sir. And he states everything, where it's been, places it's seen, signed, dated, everything. And also the warrant, which I'd love to make that deal. And everything.
How was that guitar acquired, if you don't mind me asking? How was the Warren DiMartini guitar acquired? Let me hear the story. I can't wait.
I want to say...
I know it's got a letter of authenticity. It comes with guitar picks, and it comes with his signature on the front.
Yep.
And but I'm just curious. So was that something that Warren just said, "Hey, I want to participate," and hand it
absolutely.
over?
We reached out to him, and when we saw that guitar, we're like, "Holy crap! This one, the Bomber."
Yeah.
You know, and it's not the original one, but it's one that he had made. And it's been on stages around the world.
Yeah. The interesting thing about the Bomber guitar for everybody in the chat is that is the guitar that Warren recorded out of the cellar with. That was the first guitar. That's the guitar that he recorded the album with. And then shortly after they recorded, he had a friend that painted guitars, and he did the Skull and Blood guitar for him. But the actual recording, the guitar used for the recording of Out of the Cellar was the Bomber guitar. So, which is this one?
Break it out. Let's see it. Dude, hold it out on me.
This one's unique. This one is unique because this is a Performance. And Performance did 20 of these, and this is number 11.
Oh, wow.
But this is... So Warren, this was prior to him going to Charvel, and he went down to Performance. They said, hey, let's do a special run of your Skull and Blood and your Bomber guitar. So they did 20. This is how Warren's guitar looks now with a gold saddle. It's got one gold saddle. Yep. They did it as it sits today. Because I'm pretty sure the Charvel that you have, the hardware is going to be black because it was a Charvel production. Gold, and then
let's exchange contacts after this.
Yeah, for sure.
I can give you close up shots by tomorrow. The guitar is in what we call a secure location.
Well, I would like to do that. But let me make sure that I talk to. I'm in. I just got to make sure that she's okay with it. So,
you just gave me a ton of dough.
Yeah. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome, man.
And just so we're very clear on this, every single penny goes to Jason. I don't.
And that's how I sell it.
I mean, I'm not.
That's how I sell it.
I'm doing this to be in the Make-A-Wish Club. It's like because of Jason, I've got to hold a Sky guitar and hang out with Uli, and I've got to do incredible things with incredible artists and really live with what I would call a dream. To be honest with you, it's like from Chris Broderick to having a martini with Richie Kotzen in Miami. The stories just go for days, but every cent goes to Jason. I promise.
So when is this going to come to fruition? When is this going to go to auction? When is this going to come together?
My intention is we want to make this guitar known. We just want to let people know Jason is up for selling this, and he's okay with it. He's comfortable. He's good. I've been speaking with some auction houses, some private collectors, and pretty soon we're going to have the platform. Once we have the platform, we're going to reach out to you guys to get it out there. And also, I mean, if it goes to a private collector, then, but you're going to have to come at me with some dough. I feel this is a significant Edward instrument. And I've done my research. I know the market. I know what's out there. And I think we're sitting on something big. We're also sitting on a beautiful story that can you're not, like you said, you're not just getting this, you're getting everything.
No, you're buying the story with that.
Absolutely. But aside from that, it's an awesome guitar. I mean, Edward owned this guitar. You can watch Eddie sitting on Jason's couch playing Eruption, and talking about the conception of Eruption with Ted Templeton. That's amazing. I mean, that is such an incredible piece of history, and you can have this instrument forever and tell that story to you and all of your friends. So the idea is we're getting it out there. We are talking to people. Once the platform is up, we're going to reach out to you and everyone else we're working with and get it the hell out there. And then, we're going to swing for the fences on this one. Our goal is to do the best we can for Jason, and also let more people know what a wonderful person Edward was. It's just a win-win. So, and to go back to your point, for the people online saying that it's sad, it's this, it's that, it's not that. It really isn't. It's Jason. Honestly, it's Jason wanting to kind of bring people into his world and share his experiences and have people know his friend better. And if we can achieve that and also help Jason at the same time, then I'm cool with that. When Jason told me he wanted to sell his guitar, I said, take a whole month and chill on it. Just think about this, okay? And he's like, no. I'm like, dude, take a month, relax. When you're ready, we'll have a conversation, and I'll do everything I possibly can with all the resources I have, and we'll reach out to all of our friends, you included, and see what the hell we can do. And that's the story. So
that's really good advice to wait a month. I mean, knee jerk. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's like, yes, it's Edward Van Halen's guitar, but Jason's loved this guitar for so long, and he's like, it hangs on a wall, and I see it all the time, but I'm not going out and playing it, but maybe somebody else will. I mean, to go back,
nobody's going to play that guitar. No. They're gonna cherish it. It's a momentum. Van Halen fans are stupid with regards to how they spend money. Just take a look. And somebody with very deep pockets is going to buy that, and they're going to hang it on the wall, and they're going to cherish it. That's what's going to happen with that guitar.
I really am looking forward to us selling it and making that phone call to the house going, hey, guess what? I've gotten so far with Jason, and he's financially doing a lot better, and but I want to swing for the fences on this one. I don't want him to ever worry about anything. I want him and also his family. It's very it's a group thing. It's like you're not just helping Jason, you're helping his mom, you're helping his dad, you're helping Serrano, you're helping Marilyn, helping his brother, you're helping everyone. It's whoever says money can't buy happiness. I'm not saying they're wrong, but at least you can afford your own misery and your situation. And I just want him to never worry about money again. And I know you do. I know Dave does. We all do. It's like, I want Jason happy writing music. I mean, I might be selfish on this point, but he's one of my favorite artists of all time. If he's in the top 2, 3. Okay, Sean Lane, Yngwie, Jason Becker. No specific order. But if I can get one more song out of Jason because he's happy, not worried about stuff, almost said it again, I'm cool. It's like, I mean, that last record was gorgeous. Magic Woman is beautiful. Hold On to Love, amazing. I want more music. I want him happy, healthy, writing music, and just using all these artists as his paintbrush, like Steve I said. He's got so much in his head, and he needs the time and the resources to get it out.
And maybe with some of that money, they can send his parents on vacation.
I would love that.
Wow.
Go anywhere. Go to Hawaii. Go somewhere. It's like, think about how long his family's been doing. His whole family, not mom. It's
crazy, man.
Not just everyone.
That's crazy.
When I was growing up, my mom actually did specifically the same type of care that Jason gets. So I have a really good understanding. She did it for pediatrics mostly, people on life support systems, children with brain damage, just people who needed 24-hour day care. So I have a pretty good understanding of what it takes, and I spend time with a lot of these people, and it's a lot. It's a lot, guys. I mean, it's really expensive, but it's also, it never stops, ever. There's been some times just recently where Jason's health was scared the hell out of us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know about all that stuff. And then remember, well, I mean, you're not in the Bay Area, but up here, we had a lot of fires up north. Yeah. So there was a lot of smoke, here in Santa Cruz, but even up there, we've had a lot of power outages in the Bay Area, where the power, like my power here would be out for like a week.
I remember these. This is why the coolest thing about the money we raised. Now he has an independent generator in his backyard. He will never, ever worry about any of this again. And it's all the people around the world who bought guitars, donated money, made these things happen. You know how much easier his family sleeps now? You know the stress of Gary having to be out there working a gas generator in the middle of a freaking storm? I mean, imagine doing that just to help keep your son alive. It's like, it doesn't work. All the money that Herman raised and all the things we've done, he doesn't think about that. That's one less thing. But there's always another thing tomorrow, and that sucks. So money will help make those things go away. One of my friends has a saying, how much money do I have to throw at this problem to make it go away? And that's been my goal. I kind of got tunnel vision, and I really wasn't paying attention to what was coming in. It's like more guitars, more artists, more guitars, more artists, more this, more that. And then I kind of stepped back for a second, like, holy crap. But who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? And
yeah, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
And his family deserves this as much as Jason does. His whole family. You've met them. You've met his brother.
Oh, we were talking. I told him to go see Indiana Jones movie.
Was it good?
Because we were sitting there. Oh, it's awesome.
Really, I've heard so many bad reviews about it.
I thought it was great. I want to see it again. But I was telling Jason's brother to go see it because he hadn't seen it yet.
Oh,
this was 2 weeks ago, so I think he was talking about maybe going to see it that night. Yeah, actually,
I know he's like a super nerd. Yeah, we just had Comic-Con down here, so.
Oh yeah.
I was crawling with nerds. Which is awesome. It goes back to my point. Me and a friend of mine have a saying, everybody's a nerd for something, regardless of what it is.
That's right.
Own it, do it, and make no apologies for it. If it's comic books, that's cool. If it's collecting ceramic turtles, that's cool. If it's guitars, I mean, I remember one time me and a friend of mine were online. He builds guitars, and we're shopping for different woods. And his wife comes in. She's like, if I didn't know better, I would swear to God that you guys are watching the porn channel in here, the way you're talking about wood. I'm like, look at this cola. It's like, and I'm talking, 40 grit and you, it's like, it's cool when I meet people like me, because this is what we love, and I know the people, your friends who watch, and some of the people I work for, when we talk about guitars, it's like, this is our world, and I love it. It's like, somehow I parlayed a weird life of taking guitar lessons and admiring these people and working clubs and working for different artists into doing stuff like this. And dude, I really feel like I'm in the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I'm serious. When people complain about stuff, I'm like, fuck, I got nothing. I really don't. I'm like, I'm happy. It's like, have you seen have you seen the new guitar I got? It was like, some people just don't get it, but we do. So it's I'm happy.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, I could be having the worst day.
You get it.
Yeah,
I
could be having the worst day ever, and I could just come here and stare at the wall for a few minutes, and I walk out, I'm like, all right, everything's all right. Everything's cool.
I love
be all right.
I mean, because I watch your show and I listen to you guys talk about the nuts and bolts, and I'm so fascinated by it. I love learning new stuff and hearing. It comes back to the stories behind the instruments. I love that stuff. And it's almost cooler when it comes from some small town guy who played a bar in Toledo. That's bitching. I know a lot of stories about friends of mine who have found incredible guitars in places you would not imagine. And like, what? There's still a 58 Carina out there? Oh, let me tell you a story. Holy! I was like, you know what I'm talking about. So, and I'll tell you the story off air. You're gonna go, holy crap!
Okay.
But you guys, it's like this is what we do, and if we can make this work for Jason, awesome. So,
it's gonna work. Somebody's gonna buy
so.
it. There's no doubt in my mind. We just got to figure out when is it gonna hit, and the advertising and everything. So obviously it's starting here with Johnny Beane. So that's pretty cool.
We have more stuff coming up with more people, and I'll keep you posted on all that. It's actually, I'll tell you off air. I got a couple of really cool things coming up, and we just want the word out there. Number one, the guitar's coming up for sale, and number two, Jason's cool with it. It's not what people really think. It's honestly, I see it as Jason wanting to give the world a gift. It's like, that's the best way to describe it. This is him saying, "Come on in, everyone. Check it."
That even shows you how much more awesome Jason is.
Yeah, dude. When you leave the house, Johnny, how do you feel? Like when you spend an hour with Jason, you walk there, you walk out of there.
I feel like, a few answers. I feel like I got no problems. There's no problem that I have at all. But I feel like I'm leaving like home, like my own place, because they really are. They're like family. His parents, his siblings, our friend Dave Lopez. I mean, we're definitely family. And it's just, I mean, there's nothing like it.
Yeah,
and to know that Eddie Van Halen had been in that house too. That he had played that guitar in that house.
40 grand. Who's your favorite? I mean, who's the guy who got you started? Like, what made you turn a corner and go, this is it. I'm in. I'm going to have all this, and I'm not looking back.
You mean who was the guy that who got me playing guitar?
Yeah.
I still remember the day. I was in 5th grade. I was over at my buddy's house, and they had a record player, and he had older brothers, and I saw the pull out the dust cover of the record of Diver Down. And Eddie had the checkered shirt on, and I go, "Who's that guy? He's cool looking."
Oh.
And my buddy looked at me and he goes, "What do you mean, who's that guy?" He goes, "That's Eddie Van Halen." And we were in 5th grade, and I go, "I don't know who that is." And he goes, "Oh, here, let me put it on." And where have all the good times gone? I mean, it had me, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is really cool." And then it goes into Hang 'em High, and I was like, "Oh my God, like what is going on here?" And then I was shoveling snow. I grew up in Detroit, and I used to shovel snow, and it was winter time because I remember I would go shovel snow, make the $5 for shoveling somebody's walk, and then my mom would take me to the drugstore so I went and bought Women and Children first. And then I started buying all the Van Halen records. You know, it's hilarious. So, but that's how it all started for me, man. It was Edward in 5th grade, so that would have been 84, 83, like 82, probably 81, somewhere around there. So yeah. I mean, Edward's my number one, always will be. You know, it's a shame that he's not here anymore. But I mean, look what he left us.
Jesus.
I mean, there's not a day that goes by that I don't sit there and go, God, he was so cool. You know, and when you were talking earlier about Jason used to like smile, he had that happiness that Edward had, you know, playfulness. I don't know if it was playfulness or if it was just effortless. So they had the time to smile. You know, they could play like that and not even have to think about it. So they had the time to smile. Because if you watch a lot of people play, they're not smiling like Edward did. Oh. You know, or like, you know, they're concentrating and trying not to mess something up. You know what I'm saying? So
I've been to hundreds of guitar shows, and you can see people just look like they're about to explode.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then you see, you know, you watch Eddie sitting on the stage blowing smoke rings, just destroying. You're like, oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, there's podcasts of people looking like the world's ending as they play guitar.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean, you know, so.
I was that guy too. Even my teacher's like, you gotta relax. It's like, this is supposed to be fun. It's like, these arpeggios are pissing me off.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. It was effortless to Edward, and it was effortless to Jason, and you know that's just that it just is what it is. So
I'm so fortunate I got to see him play. He played where I live. And I was playing guitar with a person a few years older than me, so he went to the show. And he talked to Marty and Jason after the show and got a couple of passes to go to a guitar seminar in Anaheim. So he's like, oh, dude, I got these. We're going to go. I'm like, hell yeah. So we go up there, go to the guitar seminar. There's maybe like 15 or 20 people there. And after and all they did was really take requests. You know, it's like, play Speed Metal Symphony, play this, play that. And I remember Marty doing some of Cell's Sharon by Uli and a complete full version of Speed Metal Symphony, unaccompanied, just guitars. It was incredible. And after the show, they were kind enough to talk. I probably talked to him for almost a half an hour. Just, you know, just the crazy kid just asking dumb questions about how to do this and how to do that. And at one point, I remember Jason said, well, we're playing Gazzarri's tomorrow up in the Sunset Strip. If you want to come, I'll put you on the guest list. And I looked at my friend Louie, I'm like, we're not going home. He's like, F no. So we drive to Hollywood, get in some crappy hotel, go to the show, and I'm this kid, and I walk up to the ticket booth, and my name's so and so, and I'm on the guest list for Cacophony. And sure enough, I was on the list. It was amazing. It was like the best day of my life, dude. It was like, holy crap, he was serious. And we saw the show. I remember Paul Gilbert was there.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was wearing his
awesome.
He was wearing,
there it is.
Yeah,
there he is.
It was, I believe, he was wearing his Kiss shirt. I remember distinctly. Alex Mossy was there.
What year was this?
This would have been the Go Off tour. I forget the year, but I'm bad with dates.
So late '80s.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm dyslexic. Don't ask me for math, please. So. But it's like it was a who in Guitar Show was at this show. And Cacophony came out and just completely destroyed. They did it all. Jason did on the lap thing, Marty on his shoulders. And I talked to him after the show. I actually still have, I got 2 guitar picks from Jason. I got one the day before and one at the show. And I still have one of them. And I have one of Marty. And I wouldn't sell those for $1 million.
That's cool.
That's really what made me turn the corner and go, okay, this is I'm going to pay more attention at lessons. And I'm going to, listen, get a better. There you go.
I have some of these.
I got the where's my dang. I got one of the where's my dang pick ones. Like, and he gave me at the back door of guitarist. Oh, a little poop thing.
Yeah.
I actually had two of them. I gave one of them to Nita Strauss. Has been amazing. I mean, she has helped us so much. I actually gave her one of the ones that he gave me. I gave her the one from the show, and I still have one for seminar. She's like, I can't pick my. Please, you've done so much. Take the pick, please. And she got it. It's not like, it's
wow,
dude. It's like I saw the daily sheet from Van Halen 1. A friend of mine came across it and was able to get it, and it says, I forget what song, and then it just says solo. I'm like, and he sent me a picture of it. I'm like, was that the solo for? What song was solo for? It's all solo. It was the Eruption daily sheet. I'm like, oh, and he was able to buy it and give it to a close friend as a birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like actual written thing from that day, from Sunsets Now.
Wow. Did you ever hear? Did you ever hear the room mic recording of that song?
I believe I have. Yeah. Yeah.
You can hear the edits.
Yeah, I have.
There's slight edits in that, but it's not like piecing stuff together. They took little bits of like feedback out. Yes. And it's the most amazing thing. You listen with headphones, and it's like you're in the room during that song. It's incredible.
But that was one take. That was one take.
Yeah, it was one take.
That was one take, and yeah.
It was one take, but what they did was they took out. There's a slight squeal of where it goes from the first passage to the second one.
Yeah, I've seen that. Sunsets.
I know exactly.
They take out a squeal of the guitar there, like feed, like his pickup's feeding back, and then at the end of the song, like it keeps going with the delay.
Yeah.
And then they go into "You Really Got Me," and they start playing "You Really Got Me," and then they stop.
Yep. Because that's how they did it live, and they were rehearsing for a gig that night. And I guess Ted came out and said, "What is that?" And he goes, "Oh, it's just some solo I play every night." And he was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah.
He actually tells that story in the video when he has the guitar in his hand. So I was like,
it's cool.
He played it on that guitar right there, and he talks about the mistake. He talks about how he made a mistake,
and he drops the F bomb and kind of effed it up, and it's like.
Hey, I've got to say that Octopus Ears just commented and said best guest ever. This probably, since I've been right. This.
But he was talking about
awesome.
Steven.
No,
exactly. No, that's what I'm talking about. This is pretty cool, man. This is really cool.
The one thing I want to really emphasize is it is a body of people who do this stuff. It really is. It's not just one nobody dumbass like me who just doesn't sleep enough and just has tunnel vision. It is a body of people who make these things happen. I mean, I just found myself in this weird place because of some of the artists that I'm fortunate to help or work for, whatever you want to call it, to be able to have contacts. And it really was it was kind of like just connecting little dots and asking questions. And once we started, like I said, John, and 40, everyone, it's almost like they were waiting for the opportunity, Even Herman said that to me exactly. I remember the conversation. He said, I've always wanted the opportunity to do something for Jason. I just didn't know how to. I didn't have the end. This is my end. And he just opened a floodgate of love from the planet. And I remember watching his Twitch channel, and you'd see people just, I'd never heard of Jason, but because there's the one thing I try to emphasize with Jay is that I don't think he really understood is that there's been a massive resurgence of technical guitar playing with bands like Tong, Polyphia, Pliny.
Yep.
Animals as leaders, my God. And guitar playing now, I feel, and I'm kind of into this stuff, that it's even more popular than when Jason was doing it. And it's more accessible. And the one thing I noticed is that so many people, like Tim Henson and Tosin and Nilly Brosh and Nita Strauss, they all credit Jason. And it made sense to tap into that. It's almost like he wasn't even aware of it, because he doesn't have the time for this. He's got other issues and things to deal with, but I love guitar music. And when I heard Polyphia, my mind was just blown, but then Tosin, and you listen to their interviews, and they dropped Jason's name like rain in Seattle. And I'm like, this is what we need to tap into. And I found a lot of people who never heard of Jason, but actually were being inspired by him. Kids. I've been to guitar stores around the country doing stuff for Jay, music festivals, and I see little kids pick up guitars just busting arpeggios, mad arpeggios, or just that attack that Jay had. And I'm going, you like Jason Becker? And they would say, who? Like, oh, you like Tosin Abasi? Yeah. Like Tim Henson? Yeah. Okay, now I get it. So you actually learned it indirectly. And once we're able to tap into that and get it out there, that's when we really saw stuff happen. And people finding Jason, kids, teenagers. And I personally feel this is the best time ever for guitar music.
Oh, it's all coming back right now. It's all coming back. And I mean, you go to concerts now. I went to what did I go see? I remember walking around. I told my girlfriend, I said, "Look at these young kids with like a Dawkins shirt on and stuff." Like, whoa! I mean, that's pretty cool.
Warms my heart.
Seeing a young kid with a Dawkins shirt on, it's like, all right, man. Well, hey, in about 20 years, you're going to have a job. About 30 years, and I'm going to be selling these guitars in 30 years. So, yeah, that's what excites me about the whole thing. So.
That's cool. Dude, I love George Lynch, dude. I've seen that guy many times.
Such a nice guy and so freaking awesome.
I actually had a really interesting run-in with him at a guitar show. And what a sweetheart, the guy. Really, it's
nice guy.
Nice guy. I got to spend a whole day with him sitting right next to me in a lounge chair, playing guitar and selling pedals, and it was just like, is this fully my life? Just help. I remember my friend saying, "Help George." I'm like, okay, cool, no problem, all day. He's just such a wonderful person.
Yeah, you should get George to. I'm sure George had coughed something up. Has he coughed anything up yet, or no?
He was on our show.
Okay.
He did the Twitch channel with Herman.
Okay.
And I'd love to get a guitar from him.
Oh my God! Imagine that.
Having that day, just to spend a day with him and help him out a bit. And listen, I literally I remember him just sitting in a chair at a guitar show, and one of the people I work for just had me help him out, and it was like a dream, dude. And he was just going through all of it, the Mr. Squeery runs and all of it.
Yeah,
he has such an interesting way of fretting. It's when I can't explain it, but when you see it, like, there's nobody that sounds like that guy.
One of the coolest stories that are one of the coolest stories that just came to mind when you were talking about vibrato was the he was at a meet and greet at Guitar Center in San Diego. Or Guitar Trader.
Oh yeah, I love
Guitar
that.
Trader.
Guitar Wars there.
Yeah, on Claremont Mesa Boulevard. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So I went up there, and there's actually I should show that. There's that one right there. I took that with me, and it says George Lynch Arrives on the front of it, and it's got him playing that guitar. And I had it with me, and I said, George, I have two questions. Is it true that you left DeMartini's house with his head and you took it? And he goes, how did you know that? And I said, I just heard it. And he said, that's true. They had come home from tour, and I took his head. And Warren didn't know where it went, and he had it for a long time. And then I said, my second question is who did the sliding vibrato first? And he goes, well, I did the sliding vibrato first, because if you watch the Rat video, Round and Round, it goes into the solo, and DeMartini does the sliding vibrato on the table. Mm-hmm. And I asked George about that. I said, okay, so who did the sliding vibrato? Who did it come from? He goes, I originated it, and DeMartini did it first on video, in the Round and Round video. He said, but he got it from me. So I thought that was really funny. And then when he signed that album, it says, to Mike, cool questions, and he signed it because, I was kind of bombarding him with some stupid questions. But
where's my phone? I got something cool. I'll send it over to Johnny.
Oh, wow. I'm trying to find the photo of me and George Lynch together. I met him at a NAMM show one year. We have a photo somewhere, but Janice the intern, send me a tweet reminding me to find the George Lynch photo. By the way, thank you guys for watching. We're not done yet, but smash that thumbs up. And again, subscribe if you're brand new here. Subscribe to the channel. Name dropper. We're dropping names tonight, you guys. That's what we do here.
Wait, we're all name droppers, Johnny.
Yeah.
I hope people don't take it the wrong way. I seriously do. It's not. It's like I have friends who are plumbers who are incredible people. It's just sometimes the work you do just puts you in contact with certain people, and it's like you have normal conversations and you talk about your pets and having to paint a bedroom, or it's just normal stuff.
It's normal to drop names around here.
Like I said, typically nobody has any idea who I am, and I really kind of like that. I don't want.
Hey, I can assure you that I was there. I was there at Guitar Trader. I was there. So I'm not just dropping
Chris
names.
King is a plumber.
I was there.
And you were there. Yeah.
I was there. Yeah.
Chris King's the only guy that watches on Facebook, and he is a plumber. So we know a plumber. So that's...
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Janice, for the tweet.
I just sent you over something right now, John.
All right, let's see. And you want me to show it? Oh, dude.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
Oh my
I don't even know what it is, and I want to see it.
Oh, you're gonna be excited, man. Look at that, man.
There he is.
There they are.
What a guy. Don't let my girlfriend see that. She'd leave me for him in a second.
One of the funnest days of my life, dude.
For Steven or for George?
He probably.
I'm gonna say it for me. Like I said, it was like the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's like what?
I'll show you guys the coolest photo I've ever had. Really, well, besides the one, I'll show you guys a couple cool ones. Well, there's that one, of course.
Look at Nuno, that's rad.
A lot of people love that one. And I do have selfies with this other guy here, but they didn't turn out very well. But the photo that his wife took, that's me and Edward, 2014 at a friend's party. Yeah,
kidding.
and the thing is, when I met him, I was talking to him. It was like no big deal. It was like, oh, he's just normal dude, whatever. And then I was at a stoplight like a week later, and it hit me that I met him, and I ever since then it's like normal dude, normal, but he's Eddie Van Halen. It's like I met a guy. He's just some normal dude, but he's the king.
That's literally that is me and my friends when we reference him. We really don't even say his name. We just say King, and everyone's like, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's really nothing else to say after you say Edward. It's like, or the King. It's like,
and the cool thing about it is everybody's in agreement. There's not too many people out there that would say, you know what? Yeah, Ed's not the King.
No,
I mean, they can, they've got enough respect to where they may not be a Van Halen fan like Ron, but but he's still going to come out and say, yes, you know what? Edward Van Halen was the King. He was the King. He's the King. Probably the greatest of all time, in my opinion. So.
Oh, dude. I mean, well, I mean,
for you
I
guys,
said in my opinion.
for you guys, I always ask Van
fact.
Halen fans this question because I'm really curious. Because I know
Mm-hmm.
I know my answer. But if you're a guitar player and a Van Halen fan, what's the album for you?
What was that?
I
Say
think-
that again.
When you're,
But I was reading the comments because it looks like we have a king here as well.
what's your
Chris
favorite-
King is a king by name, and he's a plumber.
There you go. For me, it's
Chris
always
King.
fair. It always comes back to Fair Warning.
See, all the guitar guys always say fair warning, and I'm in agreement with that. But I will say that Eddie Trunk did a show recently, and he said, it's very hard for me to decide because Women and Children First is fantastic as well.
Dude, take your
So,
whiskey home.
I
all
mean,
day.
I don't know. I mean, like, I was actually, it's funny, my girlfriend's son is starting to play guitar. And because he's watching the podcast, he's like, hey, you know what? I want to start playing. And he asked me this question yesterday. What's your favorite album? I said, well, hey, none of them are going away, so I don't have to pick. They're all great. They all had their place, they all had their moment, but obviously the guitar playing guys are always going to say fair warning. So
You want to see my favorite?
Please.
Okay, this is my oh crap, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. This is my favorite right here. My favorite Van Halen album. Okay, I show this every time I get the question on Facebook. I'm like, this is my favorite right here.
yeah. yeah, that makes it easy, right?
You get both.
Yep.
Wait, where's the laughter? Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay. Women, Children First, and Fair Warning on one cassette.
Go and listen to the intro to Fools. You know, I mean, like, go. I mean, just that Women and Children First album is just, my God, it's fantastic.
And isn't there like the cool story about Women and Children First about when they open up the back door and you can hear the rain, and then there was a girl in the studio who came in and sang with them too? Do you know that story?
Yes.
No.
If you listen
I don't
closely,
know that.
I think I heard Dave or Mike tell the story years ago that just to get the funk out of the room, they opened up the back door and it was pouring that night. If you listen very closely, you can hear rain at the beginning, and there was a girl in the studio that came. Am I right, Johnny? You'd know.
Because this is the Van Halen channel. That's, of course we know that. Yes. Yeah, the girl that's singing during the choruses is Nicolette Larson. She had worked with Ted Templeman. They had produced one of her albums that Eddie actually plays a guitar solo on. I don't know if you've heard that.
Okay, so what song are we talking about? Because I haven't heard this.
Women and Children First. Better
Okay.
say Women and Children First.
Women, Children First, the song.
The song.
Okay.
Or no. Could This Be Magic?
Could
Could This Be Magic?
Okay.
Could This Be Magic?
I'm turning my band.
Okay, so you can hear her on that. But then if you guys check out the Nicolette Larson album, there's a song called Can't Get Away From... Is it Can't Get Away From You? Is it? Can't Get Away From You? I think that's the song. If you look at the album, it says guitar solo. There's a question mark. 1978 is when this... Or 77, 78 is when this came out. You listen to it, like, that's Eddie.
Amazing.
So hey, at the end of it, now listen to this. I was thinking about this the other day. This is how stupid I am. So at the end of Women and Children First, there's that intro called Growth. It's called Growth, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How cool would it be? Now, call me crazy, if Wolfgang made that a song. Or turned that into something with Mammoth VH. How cool would that be if he started the new album, or if he starts one of his albums coming up with that lick,
Comes out
and
tomorrow.
then rolls into something? I mean, how cool! Because they never did anything with that, and it's a cool lick.
Do you want me to hear some history, or do you want? I can tell you all about that.
Well, come on, let's go.
Okay, that was a song that they did at the end of Women, Children First. It fades out on the vinyl and on the cassette. When CDs came out, the song keeps going and then stops.
You're right.
Right?
Stop.
I was sitting on my floor. I heard that. I'm like, whoa. Kept going. Couldn't believe it. I mean, it's only like, 5 more seconds or whatever, but still. Anyway, so the plan was to fade out, and their next album, they were going to fade in with that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
what
I
they
heard
ended
that.
up doing was they fade in with Mean Street, the tapping.
Yeah.
But that was the idea, and they actually did play that song live.
They did. They opened it with. I thought they opened with that, and then they went into like "Light Up the Sky" or something.
Well, they played it live. When they came in for an encore for the US Festival.
Okay.
They actually play it, and then what's even more cool during the 5150 tour, they would actually play that live, and Sammy Hagar was playing guitar on it too. They would trade solos.
God,
Saw
I wish
that.
I would have seen
Yeah.
that. I never
I
seen
remember that.
Yep.
Maybe a little hazy, but I remember the show.
Yep.
It's a little hazy.
And I did a guitar lesson on how to play that riff too. So if Janice, send me a tweet, and I'll do the right above there will be a card of the guitar lesson that I did, how to play that lick.
Yeah, I think I actually just sent you a picture of me and Jason from a benefit show.
You did? Let's see. Oh yeah, dude, I was there. That was the one with Richie when Richie headlined. Great American Music Hall.
Yeah.
I was there.
That guitar was actually given to me by I got that guitar from Joe Bonamassa actually.
Oh wow, dude.
Yeah, it was. We got 10,000 for that. To a really awesome guy. And
wow.
it came with a beautiful photo that Joe signed specifically to them, and it was. That's
wait, dude. See, we've been to so many places together.
We probably literally stood right next to each other. And
I have a photo of me there as well. Oh wait, where is it?
Yeah, I remember we put that guitar in display at the booth.
Oh crap! Let me see. I have a photo. Okay, Janice, send me a tweet reminding me to post the photo with Jason Becker at the Great American Music Hall. Yeah, I have a photo with Jason there as well.
Okay.
Oh wait! I think it's in this. Is it in the collage? No, it's not. It's not one of those. It's another one. I have so many photos with Jason. So many.
I think I have another really good one.
Oh my gosh. Actually, it might be in it might be one of these. Oh, here it is. Here. Actually, and there's the other photo I was going to show you guys too. Okay, this is that same night, Stephen.
Oh yeah, Great American Music Hall.
That's the same night right there.
Man, you have so many different looks. You're like a you're like a secret agent. Dude,
I'm an influencer.
You're something.
That's what it is. And here's another one. This is at Slim's, man. This is at Slim's the night of the film. Oh no! Oh, it's just a voicemail. Our friend Laz is watching. Anyway, there's me and Jason. This is like a professional photo right there.
Oh really?
Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah, at the Slim show. We were there early. I got to hang out and watch them do sound check. I got to see Satriani and.
That's like where they show that footage where Luke comes in and gives him a big hug and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was there. I was there. I was there for that. I was there, and there we go. There's a photo for you guys right there.
Look at that.
There he is again.
I love George.
I was apparently sleeping, but that was this was after the NAMM Jam, 2014 maybe, Anaheim, California. My buddy Chip Ellis got me tickets for this show with Jakey Lee's band was headlining.
Hold on a second. Your buddy Chip Ellis. When did this start?
Dragon Cartel?
Yes. I've known Chip for years.
Dude,
yeah.
Chip Ellis needs to build me a guitar. Are you kidding me right now? What's going on?
No, dude.
What's going on right now? All right.
I told you, we know a lot of people.
Yeah, my buddy Chip Ellis. I'm like, what?
I remember years ago, I used to work at a club doing stage production, and I remember George was playing there. We actually had someone, we had a runner take him to the gym so he could go work out. It's like he needed a couple hours, go hit the gym, came back, and just destroyed. He's an interesting guy. But I absolutely one of my favorite players. I mean, the solo at Heaven Sent was always my favorite. That was the one.
Yeah.
Which one?
The solo at Heaven Sent.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Dude,
I've got a NAMM video from '98 when he was doing his weightlifting gig, and he's huge. I mean, like I was like, my God, man, what was he doing? He was weightlifting with his son. His son was into bodybuilding, so they were doing it together as a father and son thing. That's why George got into it.
Jesus.
He was
Yeah,
doing
I've
that
seen.
with his son. So. He got
40.
huge.
40. Check this out. This was 20. What year was this? 20. It was the same. This was right before the Smithsonian, where Edward was in Washington. Was that 2015? 14?
Yeah. Well, probably
15?
yeah, 15.
This was right before that. There's myself and Chip, and my dog Howie.
Oh,
My old dog right there.
Well, I've had enough name dropping tonight, Johnny.
I told you
That's-
this is
that's
the
the
name
first
dropping
that I've-
channel.
That's the first I've heard of you being friends with Chip Ellis, and I got to tell you, I'm a little envious about that.
I've known him for
Like,
years and years and
God.
years, man.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, it's
Chip
bigger
Ellis
friend.
is
does not
Dude.
name dropping.
beast.
You'd be-
Dude, you want one more? You want
Oh,
one
why
more,
not?
man?
Yeah, just
You want
keep on
one more?
dropping 'em. Yeah, just,
You want one more? Do you guys know who that is?
I don't want to say because I don't want to be wrong. Who is it?
I got nothing.
Rudy Laren. Rudy Laren, Eddie's first guitar tech.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I know Zeke Clark.
You were so Big Bang Theory.
Wait.
Oh, no, you don't. No. Okay, that's enough.
I have Zeke's
Now,
phone
now
number.
you're just showing off. That's enough.
The name dropping channel.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the whatever. What's it? The 5th or the 6th? I'm taking that one.
Let's get back to Jason Becker.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I think, like I told you earlier, Johnny, is like we still have major artists helping out. I think I sent you those pictures of what we did. Actually, no, we haven't even released this anywhere. I recently just sold a guitar that all members of Def Leppard, all members of the Scorpions, all members of Iron Maiden, and Gus G all signed up. I kind of want to do like a European themed guitar, and I was thinking, okay, who are the guys? And I want,
Do you want me to show the guitar?
yeah, sure.
It's a numbers?
It's already been purchased, and it has a new home.
It's a numbers guitar?
It's a numbers guitar.
All right, so
I kinda
it's
that's
that one.
that's all of Iron Maiden, Def Leppard, Scorpions, and Gus G's on there somewhere.
I see
Wow.
Phil Collin for sure.
Yeah, they were cool. It was.
Can I drop another name? Did you guys hear my Phil Collins story?
No,
You guys ever hear that?
he's
I
cool
was
with that.
walking. This is a few years ago at the NAMM show. I was walking out of there's the Fender room, and then there's the under the umbrella room, the EVH, Charvel, Gretsch. There's all that. I was walking out of there, and all of a sudden these huge guys come walking in. They're like, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way. Phil Collins comes busting through. He slams right into my arm. And he's
No, he's yoked.
so
He's,
I'm like,
how old
he's-
is he? He can still play with his shirt off and look cool as hell. And he's the sweetest guy.
yeah. So anyway, he slams right into me, and I'm like, hey, it's Phil Collins, right? The last time that happened to me, I was, dude, such a small world. The last time that happened to me, something like that, I was walking out of the that theater in San Jose where they had Not Dead Yet, the premiere. Jason was there. Everybody. The something festival. It's a film festival in San Jose. They had the Jason movie, Not Dead Yet. Anyway, I come walking out of there. A guy walks in front of me. It's Creed from The Office, the TV show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, it's you, So that happened another time. But then this time, Phil Collins from Def Leppard slams right into my arm. He comes in, he holds up, one of his guitars, takes some photos, and then he's out of there, right? The next week, man, my arm is like super sore, and I'm like, but that was the guy from Def Leppard, man. So
Yeah.
Dude,
that's pretty cool.
I saw them in my town. And I got the Scorpions first through a friend of mine. My buddy Don was friends with their road manager, so I was able to go out to Vegas and get the Scorpions to sign it. And then I knew I wanted Iron Maiden and Def Leppard, and I had a couple of contacts, but then kind of out of the blue, a friend of mine who I do work for, sometimes he'll ask me to help some other friends of his, and he asked me to help a guy named Kevin Shirley, the producer. And he obviously, well, he's the guy. He's Kevin Shirley. And he just recently did the new Iron Maiden record. And and also, well, everyone from Dream Theater to Mr. Big to he's Kevin the Caveman Shirley. He's huge. And I was helping him out, and it came up that he said, "Oh, I'm having dinner tonight with someone you might have heard of," and he dropped Trevor Rabin's name. I'm like, "Oh, actually, Trevor Rabin, he helped out my friend Jason Becker on his last record called Triumphant Hearts." And he's like, "Oh, really?" And so I know that name, and he said, "What's going on with it?" I told him the story, and we were kind of going around all day doing, and I was just assisting, just helping, just personal assistant stuff. And he's all, "Well, who else do you want?" Well, my idea was just to get all European acts. I want Def Leppard, Iron Maiden, Scorpions, the big guys. He's all, "Well, it's funny you say that because Def Leppard is actually, they were at the same hotel and they were getting ready to kind of kick off their tour, and they were doing a show at the Whiskey." He's like, and I believe he said he talked to Phil and Joe that earlier in the day, and they were supposed to meet later for drinks or dinner. And he says, "Would you like me to mention it?" I'm like, typically I don't like to play these cards. I just like to do the work, shut my mouth. And then he's like, I'm like, I'm not too comfortable because of, our friends. But he's all, "Don't worry about it. Let me have the conversation." And he's all, "I'll call you tomorrow." He called me the next morning. He's all, "Talk to Phil, talk to Joe." I think he said Phil and Joe or Phil and Viv. I know Phil was part of the conversation. He said, "No problem, happy to do it. Just let me know. They're actually playing tonight and go tonight, but I had commitment at home. I couldn't go." He said, "When they come to your town, we'll get you all set up." And sure enough, 2 days before they showed up, I got a call. Boom. "Get your ass down here." They sent me up, saw the show, signed a guitar. And then Iron Maiden, well, he just did their recent Iron Maiden record. And he said, I'll make the phone call. I'll call the guys. And sure enough, a few days before the show, phone pops off. They set me up with everyone, go to the show, see an amazing show. Me and my brother Tom went, signed a guitar, and it was like literally once Kevin stepped into it, it just went boom, 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 boom. It's like it was done. I'm like, dude, that was cool. It was and we sold that guitar for $30,000.
Wow, man.
Yeah, and actually the guy who bought that guitar, he bought a Tosin signature guitar for also $5,000. So in one swift stroke, we were able to deposit $35K into Jason's bank account.
That's awesome.
And I got to see Iron Maiden and Def Leppard.
Yeah.
I can't go with the Scorpions. It was like like
that's awesome.
You want you wish upon a star over here, man. So I'm not bragging about this stuff, Johnny. I'm just grateful that
I know
people like me.
No, I'm glad you came on, man, to talk about it and everything, because it brought a lot of attention to the guitar, first of all, and second of all, I got to be honest, one of the coolest things we found out tonight is Ed signed the build sheet, or Ed's name's on the build sheet. I mean, that's a big deal in my opinion. I mean, if I was buying that guitar, I'd be like, "Oh my God, I've heard this, but I've never seen it, and now I have." So,
and you having both of you having the knowledge, of guitars, is establishing a provenance for an instrument is extremely important. The devil is in the details. It's like, if you can't prove it, I've been there when people try to, when I'm working with certain people and they'll have a guitar and they'll say it's this and this and this. And some of the people I work with can look at it and go, "You're so wrong. You're so wrong." And you see people get completely deflated, or they get hostile, because they think they know better. I'm like, whatever, but you're not getting that price for that guitar. I mean, I'm looking at the welds and I can tell they were done a week ago. I'm not stupid. I can. We know the people who built these things, so we have the contacts, and when you can really prove it down to the letter, that's when you have something. And I believe that's what we have. And we're still gathering the details. But as it stands right now, You know, well, I throw it back to you guys. And you know, I've never claimed to be the Edward guy. Do I love Edward? Do I adore him? Hell yeah. But you want to talk about Jason and Paul Gilbert and Greg Howe and Sean Lane? I'm your guy. But how do you feel about the provenance we're establishing for this guitar as Van Halen, I'm going to say experts?
Oh, it's 100%.
Well, any Van Halen guy
I mean,
knows the story on that guitar. They knew it long before Jason even considered getting rid of it. So that's number one. Number two is I think the important thing on that guitar is for everybody to know that Jason isn't getting rid of it because he needs to get rid of it. He's getting rid of it because he wants to share it. Yeah. That'll be another selling point. And I think for me is the details. Just like you just got done saying, it's always the details for me. It's the build sheet. It's the certificate of authenticity. It's the stuff that I can sit there and look at and say, I can sit there by myself and be a nerd and read it over and over again and go, oh my God, I've got this guitar. This is my guitar. That's the kind of stuff I do. So
yeah, it's so. I think we're on the path, and we just want to get it out there and let people know it's coming up, what our intentions are, but also what Jason's reasons are. And it's once we have everything established and we have the platform, we're going to come back to all the people we've reached out to, and we'll continue to reach out to. This isn't like we're saying this guitar is going up for auction tomorrow. No, I want as many people as possible from here to. I have friends who are guitar dealers in places like Switzerland. And pick a country, I have some people. So get people talking about it, let people know about it, and rediscover the story. I think that's really important.
That's going to go for a grip, man. And grip, GRIP, Johnny, not GRIT. That's going to go for a grip. Somebody's going to pay for that guitar.
Where's that photo? We have a photo of a grip.
No, that is still stupid.
That's like his saying for a grip.
That's funny.
There's a grip.
You're a comedian.
It's going to go for a lot of money.
Yeah, that's the hope. It's a phone call. I really am. Man, I'm so anxious to make it. Am I nervous? Yeah. Everything is always a crapshoot.
Well, just put a reserve on it. Have Jason come out and say, hey, what is the least amount that you'd be willing to let it go for?
Absolutely.
And then just leave it at that.
That's something I'm already planning on doing. And also, Jason is completely involved in all of these decisions. This isn't me driving the bus saying, F you, this is what we're doing. Everything I do, I talk to Jason specifically. Everything. As far as I'm concerned, he's my boss. And I listen to him and listen to his family. And I want everything we do to follow the ethics of their family and the way they do things. The thing with Jason is, people like me and you and all those other friends, you know how that family is, and they have a certain way of doing things, and ethics are very important, and we want to do the right thing. And once again, every dime goes to Jason. Everything. No one's getting rich off of this. No one's getting their cut. If an auction house does it, they're going to get a cut. They are. That's just the way it works. But if we get a buttload of money, say thank you, because their platform is what's going to get us there, and we're grateful for it. But aside from that, everything goes directly to Jason. I don't make a dime. I wouldn't take it if I don't. I'll take a slice of pizza and an Anchorstein with that. I'm cool.
I had a slice of pizza at his house a couple weeks ago. It was
you ever have those meatloaf sandwiches she makes? They're awesome. Or the cookies. Oh, dude, she makes some bomb cookies. But it's like the best way to say it is, for me. I know I sound like the Lifetime Network when I say this, but for everyone listening, imagine you're a guitar hero, the person you idolize the most becomes one of your best friends. And in a perfect world, I would love to be his guitar tech. I'd love to be going around the world, setting up his gear, tuning his guitars, running to Starbucks, like I do. But it didn't happen. And somehow everything I did led me on a path that got me to here. And because of so many people, we've achieved great things. And how many people can say that their hero became one of their friends? And
yeah, for sure.
It's crazy. It's like I want to go back in time again and talk to my 16-year-old self and go, dude, one day, keep doing what you're doing, and this will happen. You can make a difference.
Hey, you know what? I just thought of something. You're a guitar guy. Pick the guitar back up, please, and tell me, is it 9s or 10s? Is it strung with 9s or 10s? They're 9s?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know that Ed in the studio was 10s.
No, on these ones it has 9s.
They're 9s for sure? Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean...
Just a geek question.
No, dude. Hey, it devil's in the details, man. But these are the same strings. When you see it on the couch playing Eruption or just goofing off and talking about the deep tune-up, I mean, this is it. It's like
that's awesome, man.
It's freaking crazy. It's Edward Van Halen. It's like I can't even wrap. Sometimes, like, I can't wrap my head around it. And I know all the people listening feel the same way. It's like I've been so fortunate to hold some amazing guitars from amazing artists and just
for sure.
And just, dude, sometimes you don't even you can't even process it. I saw a friend of mine got to play for a minute. I was in possession of one of Edward's guitars that was sold at an auction. And my buddy Albert from Kiesel came over, and I let him play it. And he plugged it in. And Albert is a badass player. He is a beast. And he's playing the guitar, and he's playing some band. He's doing the Omni 1, and he's crushing it. And he starts crying. And he might be embarrassed I said this, but I looked at him, dude, I get it. Dude, I totally get it. You're playing the same piece of wood that Ed played, and you're playing a Van Halen song, and you deserve it. And it was such an awesome thing to see. I mean,
I get it, man. I got a picture from this guy that is on the show, and it's Ed. It's Ed in his studio. Somebody, apparently a photographer of Guitar World or Fender or something, took a picture of him standing in front of his guitars lined up inside where they were all stored upstairs in 5150, right? So I'm sitting there looking at it the day I got home, and I'm seeing guitars, and I'm going, oh my God, and I'm getting teary-eyed as I'm sitting there looking at it going, oh my God, they're right there. And they're probably still there. They're probably still there in the same spot. And I think to myself, God, how cool would it be to just go look at, it's funny what triggers us. So I totally understand what you're saying with regards to that. Somebody picks up a guitar and plays a guitar that Ed played, of course you're going to be overwhelmed.
Dude,
of course.
Those notes are still resonating in this guitar.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I think guitars, it's the history, but it's also all the people that have played them and all the things, all the places they've been. I love this stuff. Like, I've actually got to hold like 59 Les Pauls, and that's a crazy thing to me. It's like, what? Or really important instruments, and I still just, like I said before, everyone's got their thing. For me, it's guitars. Am I the best guitar player in the world? No, kind of a hack. But does it make me happy? Ridiculous. I wouldn't change anything.
Oh, it's like Joe Bonamassa says, you're buying the story.
Yeah.
And as long as you stick with that, everything's a good investment. If you feel compelled to buy a guitar over a story, then you're safe.
And I love that. It's like I said, I know we keep going back to it, but that's the most important thing, is that people understand Jason's reason. And it's not a pity party. Don't feel bad for him. Jason is one of the strongest people you'll ever meet in your life. Don't. I remember the first time I met him at that Slim show, and I was nervous as hell. Like, I was scared out of my mind, because it's a bit shocking when you first do it. And it's, as I spoke, Gary said, I'll translate for Jason. So instead of talking to Jason, I was talking to Gary. And Gary kind of snapped at me. So don't talk to me, talk to my son. I'll translate. Don't worry about it. But it was kind of in a stern manner. I was a little scared for a second, you know? And my point is, like I said, Jason is a very, very strong, one of the strongest people I've ever met in my life. And just because he has ALS, he is one of the sharpest, quickest, funniest people I've ever met. When I'm at his house or we're on the phone, like we were last night, the conversation is just like this. It goes back and forth. There's no, I literally, I know Jason has ALS, but I don't really see him like that anymore. You know, I still see this creative person who I want more music from. Things like this are going to help us get there. You know, you don't have to worry about the bills, and you can just make sure your family is taken care of and you're taken care of. Wake up, write music, and we all benefit. So, yay. Okay, movie of the week. Lifetime Network over. Sorry. But,
yes.
But you get
the name dropping network.
Yeah. But hey, it was a means to an end. You know, it's think about it, everyone from Def Leppard to Tosin Abasi kicked in. It's like, you know, next I'm going after the country guys. You know, I think some of the best, actually, Zach Brown band, his guitar player, he has ALS now, and he's, you know, he's on Jason's path, and he's Zach Brown band, amazing. You know, if you've never seen him, but think about the country world. Brad Paisley, Keith Urban, Johnny Highland. I mean, I could do this all day. All you got to do is go to Nashville, walk on the street, and you'll get your ass kicked. You know. And
I was live streaming walking down the street in Nashville, and I was very careful not to get beat up. It's true, you guys.
I know.
That was only several months ago. Yeah.
The talent that's there, that's like, my God, some of the best players in the world are in that city. So it's like, you know, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to Jason, you know, come on, come off. You know, it's just you fall in love with the story. If you can help him and it helps you, and you help bring awareness to Jason and he helps bring awareness to you, I don't care how it happens. I'm just going to keep beating on doors and hoping people say yes. So, thanks, Johnny.
That's awesome. You're welcome, man.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, this is it. The king.
That's it right there. Look at that. That's the guitar. That's it right there. Look at that.
Got the case. You got all the paperwork. You got a letter from Jason. You got a letter from Jim DeCola. You get it all. So
cool.
Amazing.
It's fun, Johnny.
You're welcome. You guys.
I still feel nervous as hell and awkward, but thank you.
No, great job, man. Thanks for coming on. That was cool.
I'm not a camera guy, man. I just don't dig it. If you said push some gear or change out some tubes or whatever, cool, I got it. Whatever. Go to Starbucks and get us all coffee. No problem. I'm cool with that. But this kind of stuff is like...
Cool. Do you have to split real quick, or can we hang out for a minute?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Can I run out of the room for just 1 minute?
You got it.
Okay, I'll be right back.
You got it. You guys, thank you for watching. What 40 is gonna? I don't know if any banks get robbed tonight. We can't be responsible for that. But hey, let me say thank you to our channel members here on Johnny Beane TV YouTube channel. Thank you for your continued support for this channel and these shows. This is Johnny Beane TV. We talk Van Halen Tuesdays. Normally it's 8 p.m. Eastern. We were a little later tonight. because Stephen couldn't be on at the normal time. But next Tuesday, tune in, 8 p.m. Eastern-ish, 5 Pacific, for what we call OU81 Tuesdays right here on Johnny Beane TV. Exclusively Van Halen. All things Van Halen. If you like Van Halen, this is the place you want to be. This is the place. And let's see.
I'm back.
He's back. He's back. There he is. Let's do a quick giveaway. Okay, I've got a couple things here. A couple things really quickly. Let's present. Let's see. Share screen. So if you're in the chat watching us right now, if you're not, or if you haven't said anything in the chat, say something in the chat. Say something in the chat right now, and you will get entered in this giveaway. And what we're giving away, a couple things. I'd already teased this. Van Halen decal. Very cool. We'll give that away. But since we've been talking about Jason, where'd it go? Since we're talking about Jason Becker, that guitar pick I showed earlier. This is actually, I got this from Jason Becker himself. So giving that away as well. There's the dog. I actually have a tote bag with this on it too. I see it every day. It hangs in the hall right there.
I love that.
So there you go. So we're giving both these away right here. So yeah, type a number in the chat. Say something in the chat right now to get entered for that. And we will.
Johnny, somebody just commented, is 40 Grit going to be giving away a poster tonight? If I am on Saturday night, if I can get somebody to switch with me at work, I will give a poster. I will give one of the Wolfgang posters away on Saturday night. USA shipping only, please. USA shipping only.
Well, when we get off, Johnny, send me your address. I'm sure I got some swag, some shirts and stuff I can send you, and you can give them away.
Okay. Okay, we'll do that.
We'll just send those to my house.
Yeah.
I know I got some DVDs and some shirts, and I'll be happy to send them your way to say thank you for helping.
Let's see. We will do that. And also, this is breaking news. This actually just happened. So I want you guys open up another browser, and I still have to watch this. I haven't seen it yet. But Wolfgang Van Halen just dropped his brand new video, literally 6 minutes ago, for a song called I'm All Right. So jump over, open up another browser, click on that, and drop a comment saying Johnny Beane sent me. Say Johnny Beane TV sent me.
I love his new music. I'm into it.
I think it's cool, man. I think it's cool.
I think what I like about Wolf the most is that he's Wolf.
He's unique.
Will there be elements of his dadness playing? Yeah. It's not like he was born without ears. I mean, it's like I've seen Jason Bonham play, and sometimes if you close your eyes, he sounds like his dad, but he also has a very unique style also. But I think the thing about Wolf I really appreciate, that was one thing that kind of pissed me off. It's like after his father passed away, people were telling him he needs to do this, he needs to tribute his dad this way. It's like, I don't know Wolf. I've never met Wolf. I would never claim to know Ed. But I would think that Ed would want him to be as original as he was. And that's what he's doing. He said, F you, I'm going to make my own music. Yeah. He can sing his ass off. Dude, his songs are beautiful. I mean, and they from heavy to on the more mellow side. I'm so into his music, and I love the fact that he's just doing his own thing. I think the best way he contributed his dad is just to keep being him, man. And he's going on tour with Nita Strauss, I believe, this fall, and I am bet your ass I'm going to that show. I've never seen him live. Have you guys seen him live?
Oh yeah, I just saw him out here in Phoenix. It was amazing.
Man,
it was amazing.
He played where I was, and I was on a plane somewhere, and I missed him. And it had to be incredible.
It was actually a win for me because I went to see him. They were opening for Alter Bridge, and
that's before they came here.
I left after all. As soon as Wolf was over, I got to leave because I didn't stick around for Alter Bridge. I got enough with Mammoth. They were amazing live.
Yeah, I know that I'll probably see at least a few of those shows between here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, talk about pressures. I mean, that kid is gay. I mean, that kid. He's seen such strong pressures. I mean, he's following up the greatest guitar player of all time, and he's making himself his own. He's not doing anything that relates to his father. He's just doing what. And don't be fooled. Wolfgang doesn't have to work. He doesn't have to work. He's doing it because he wants to. He's doing it because he wants to. So
yeah, I mean, him and Matt, really cool. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, him and Matt Bruck both on an equal share in EVH, but I mean. I think he just got that gene from his dad of creating music.
Sure did.
And like I said, it was just, I don't understand it. It's like when someone passes away, it brings out the best and the worst in people.
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell is anyone to tell Wolf what to do? What a bunch of that, It's
you can say it.
Yeah, I'm trying.
You can say
it. And he's been very accommodating to the older people like us. Because I mean, he doesn't have to be accommodating to us. I mean, like I really don't think that he's looking for the younger generation. He wants to build his own. But he's also very accommodating to the Van Halen fans. He's been very cool to all the older goofy people like me. So,
Well, a lot of them haven't been cool to him.
Oh yeah, well, hey, hey, people like that, man. People that pick on people or stuff like that. I mean, they're just consider the source, man. They're just a miserable person, so you just gotta let it go,
I'm guessing a lot of it comes from jealousy. It's like I just don't get it. I mean, let Wolf be Wolf. I think his music kicks ass. I heard a song today. I forget the name of the song, but it was heavy as hell. It actually sounded like a old school Avenged Sevenfold song. He has an extremely diverse writing style. I mean,
I might have to go watch this. It says Valerie makes an appearance in the video. All right.
Oh, cool.
Well, I'm not going to bed anytime soon.
Yeah. One thing I always wondered, maybe you guys wouldn't have the answer to this or someone out there. I always wondered if Wolf actually ever got to see that video. The one with Jason.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure he did, but I never heard him comment on it, which is fine. He has.
Yeah.
I'm sure he had to have seen that.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I sent it to a mutual friend of Matt's who might have sent it over to him. But it's just, I always hoped that when he saw that video, it maybe took some of the sting out of all the yahoos talking trash about him. I mean, he knew his dad, and he knew what he was like. And I always kind of hoped maybe that made some of the nonsense go away for him. F you all. Sorry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. All right, let's do a quick giveaway really quickly. And then before you guys split, please jump over there, drop a comment on the brand new Mammoth WVH video, a new song called I'm All Right, and say Johnny Beane sent me. Or say Johnny Beane sent me over. Drop the comments. We're trying to spread the awareness of this show.
Yeah, I know. I've reached out to some friends of mine, so they're probably tuning in right now too. So,
actually, one of them texted me. He said to tell you hi.
Cool.
Let's see. What's his name? Where is he? Mike B.
Oh, Mike. Yeah, that's
Mike.
That's
Mike B.
That's Jason's guy. I mean, he's
Johnny. We're name dropping again.
No, okay. Well, this is the name dropping network.
He's been responsible for perspectives and really helping Jason get to where he is now. He's amazing.
Mike. Hello, Mike.
Incredible.
Thank you for subscribing, by the way. Mike subscribed. So
one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet, and super talented.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Jason has some good friends.
Awesome. We have the best friends. Now you know 40 Grit, one of my friends.
Yeah.
We're all friends.
And I don't even have a lot of friends. Everyone thinks you know a lot of people. You have a lot of friends. No, you know a lot of people. So Well, I only hang out with just a few people. I mean, really, it's like I'm not,
Okay.
I'm not
Let's
that guy.
spin. Let's spin real quickly, and then we can talk for a few minutes off the air too. You guys, Van Halen decal right here. That can be yours, and a Jason Becker pick. I got this directly from Jason Becker. This will be yours as well. These 2 items. So we're gonna spin for you guys. Here we go. Here we go. The winner. Where do I do that? Over here. All right. The winner is. Oh my goodness! I guess I'm keeping them. All right, I'm just gonna keep the stuff.
Oh, it's rigged.
Okay, here we go. One more time. See, it's me on Facebook. That shows you that we're live on Facebook right now. There's actually several me's. Okay, AI Gaming. AI Gaming. AI Gaming. Van Halen decal. Van Halen sticker. Jason Becker guitar pick. All right. Whoops. All right. AI Gaming, you're the winner. So make sure you text the number on the screen. Is there a number? Yes. Right here. Let's do this. Right there. There we go. There's the number. Text that number. Okay? All right. We already said thank you to the channel members, but we'll do it again one more time. Thank you for your continued support for this channel, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, you guys, go ahead and drop a comment on the brand new Mammoth WVH video. Say, Johnny Beane TV sent me. There it is in the chat right there. And yeah, we're gonna watch this video. Actually, do you guys want to watch it together? After we're done, I can show it on the screen. We can watch it. Okay. All right. We will see you guys. Well, first of all, thank you again, Steven.
Yeah, thanks, Steven. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. No, it was awkward but fun.
That's how every show here is.
No, sometimes I really feel like
it's kind of true.
I feel like I'm crawling into my own skin. I just like, this is awkward.
Man, well, hey, 40 Grit. Thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime, man. And if we don't see you Saturday, we'll see you in the next one.
And if you do see me Saturday, we'll give away a poster.
And forward 40 my information, and we'll.
Oh no, we're going to talk about that when we get off.
We'll
screen.
talk. Yeah, once we get off the air, we'll watch the Mammoth video together, and then we'll talk. We'll talk about that. We'll drop some more names.
Yeah. Yes, drop some names.
I'll show you guys some cool stuff I can't show on here live. Okay.
I'll play the trump card and kick your ass.
All right. If you guys want to drop names, create a show using StreamYard. That's all you got to do. Very easy. There you go. Use that link in the chat. All right. We're out of here. We'll see you guys Friday talking Kramer guitars. We'll drop more. Where Robbie will drop names. Talking about his days at Kramer. All right. We'll see you guys. See you guys next time. Johnny Beane TV. Let's play out. Where's that video? We'll do this. Bye bye.
All right, Johnny Beane hanging out with Big Pimp Jason Becker. Hello, Jason. This is.
This going on Facebook.
With your
All right.
permission.
Damn,
Yeah, right. You got
Jason's so goddamn handsome. Look at him. All right, all right. And there's Mike pimping Barney over here, and then Dan, just goddamn it, sexy. Too fucking sexy. And of course me.
Didn't you go to Costa Rica?
All right. Don't hang up, you guys. How does that? Like that. All right. See you guys later. Johnny Beane TV.